everyone. I'm even more pumped today as we're restarting our round robin and seeing these teams go against each other once again. I'm Cena Lily, and this is week 4, day 2 of the North America Challenger Tournament spring season. Joining me today are our charming casters from the NASL.
Our charming
Climax, and from the
casters.
MLSA, we have Coach Deku. How are you guys doing today? Are you guys pumped as I am today about these matches?
I'm ecstatic. We're in a live arena.
Alright,
right now.
guys.
There would be tension through
Let's see how it
air.
do.
We're jumping into the second leg, and honestly, I'm speechless. I just can't wait for these games to start.
That's right, Trex. We're speechless, but I feel like these players are going to have a lot to say for this weekend's matches for NACT.
Coach Deku's camera quality improves every time he comes back.
Super pumped.
A little bit by bit. You just wake up. I woke up like an hour ago, but I woke up like an hour and a half ago. I just didn't get out of bed. And then I looked at the schedule. I checked the schedule. I didn't realize that BC Gamers TOB was the first fucking match. I don't know why they have it as the first match. I feel like it's stupid to have it as the first match. Like, why would you have it? Like, you should have it as the last match.
We're starting the second leg of this round robin where
Why is it the first match?
Against every other team for a second time. After that, the top 4 teams will go
I can't even hear
into
it,
playoffs. Double elimination bracket from April 29th to April 30th, and the final 2 teams to secure their spot in the grand final will meet up in Las
I am
Vegas
tired.
on May 14th at the Hyper Arena, and I guarantee you it's gonna be hype.
TOB or BTK? I don't know.
For the
I think either team can win still.
I am super pumped as well for the upcoming match. Get
I don't
your
know.
popcorn
I've heard
ready.
good things
It's the
from
Ohio Brothers versus BTK.
BTK, so who knows?
MLBB Zane's revenge. Guys, we've all been waiting for
Act
these
2?
matches.
Yeah, isn't this the beginning of like the Act 2? Because the first day. Oh, it shows the scores. Nice. That's actually neat. Wait, actually improved setup for once? Question mark? It's so obvious just looking at this. Like, actually, wait. A70 Empire might make it to the top 4 if A77 fumbles. That'd be hilarious if Empire made it to the top 4 and A77 fumbles. It's unlikely, but it'd be hilarious if it happens.
We also have Fallout and Ackerman. Fallout has fell into
It seems like it's basically a given that top 3 is BTK, Ackerman, and TOB.
And then third,
I guess the 4th place is still debatable. I really thought A77 would be doing better, considering how they did against TOB the first time. Or the poll? Oh, I guess I could run the poll.
And to close all this out, we have
Engage with your audience.
Area 77 to finalize tonight's matches.
We'll win game
for all
1.
these matches, guys, but I cannot get over the
BOB,
first match. What do you guys
BTK.
think? And guys, expect in the first match. What do you guys think the teams are feeling right now?
I mean, there's a lot to be felt about.
Who do you
it.
support? Well, I'd rather have BTK win because they make it more interesting.
The rest of the gang took a very hard loss day 1, match 1 of this whole season. And from then, I feel like everyone kind of doubted Zane, but he has been on this slow uphill battle.
Is the stream audio loud enough?
Left and right, and now to restart the season in the second leg, he's up against ex-teammates, up against ex-friends, looking for the rematch of his life. And if they win this, I mean, it's an epic story right here, and who knows what's going to happen at the end of the season in playoffs.
Absolutely, and I mean, they're looking for the Cinderella run here for returned foes today, Trex. And right now, we heard it before from G, this is resembling the American crawl for them. And speaking of things, though, the standings, we're seeing BTK, right? A lot of things on the table here. They could shake up and maybe secure that second place. It's going to take a win from them and a loss from Ackerman.
See your list, are they on lobby or not? They're using tournament accounts now, so I can't check if they're online or not. I thought that yesterday I could check, but then I realized that someone in chat told me like, oh, they're on tournament accounts. Oh, I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
This weekend. Thoughts on that?
I mean, definitely, he's embracing the drama meta, right? And I think there's just been so.
I woke up with that notification first match. Yeah, it was me like an hour ago.
The story of all of NACT right now. Zane,
like the streams, yeah, like the stream.
Honestly,
I should have started earlier in retrospect. I should have. I didn't know they were the first match.
I'm loving it, right? That's that competitive, fierce spirit. I expect nothing less from the man that has called himself the face of North America. With the matches on the line, his reputation on the line, he's gonna have to stand tall and look to take down Ohio.
Yes, you will have to, but enough of the drama meta. I'm so looking forward to watching these matches, but first, let's check out what these teams are fighting for.
You get 100,000
The
diamonds
total
for
prize
first.
pool is
Woo!
50,000 worth of rewards, which is split into 24,000 cash and over 900,000 diamonds. The first place will get 15,000 cash and 100,000
Diamonds, guys. Woo!
But don't forget the main goal here. The
Diamonds.
NACT
Woo.
champs will be going to the MSC Mobile
Holy
Legends
shit.
Southeast Asia Cup. This is special because it's the first time that North America will be represented in one of these
Bloody
tournaments.
bear.
But wow, these
There
prizes
you
are getting better and better each year.
Hello, hello,
What would
hello,
you guys
hello,
do
hello.
on that?
Couple skins, maybe a car, down
Can't pay
payment,
my
you know,
bills with
maybe a new
diamonds.
computer, who knows? But I know
Yeah,
I do
keep-
a lot.
it's actual
Real
tears
thing
in my
is, I
eyes.
say it every week.
How much are you yawning?
MS.
Or maybe I'm having allergies. It's one or the other.
Forget
Maybe I'm having
diamonds.
allergies.
I'm here for the glory, baby.
I mean, you give me that prize pool, man, you have to call me Elon Musk, because I'm going to cop me a rocket, send it straight to the moon, because the stock of NACT is on an up and up momentum right now. Not only are you getting prizes from NACT, but a trip to MSC to further on that reach of glory.
Yes, I would get a new car. I'm just kidding. But before we go any further, we've got a special giveaway for our lovely community as well. We've got the 30 codes on screen right there, right now.
Why can't I alt tab?
99.5% chance at the ticket,
Oh,
magic
this is
dust,
why.
premium skin fragments, but you also have that 0.5% chance at one of those amazing skins on screen, the Great Inventor, Floral Knights. But we've also got 4 giveaways.
Prediction, I think it's anyone's game.
That's 4 giveaways.
I don't know who's gonna win or lose.
Now,
I think it's anyone's
what we've
game.
all been waiting for all week. We've
Sad to see.
started with the much anticipated match.
Oh, we're in the draft. We're in the draft. Wait, are we in the draft? Oh no, it's the predictions.
Well,
I think a 2-1 is
as we
realistic
see,
for either
pretty
side, though.
one-sided. One
Thank you.
caster, the spiciest caster of all, likes to keep it exciting here. And as you saw, BTK.
I think a 2-1 is realistic. I don't think it'll be 2-0. Do you think TOB will stop BTK? No.
And I mean, like we talked about, when you look at the numbers, look at the stats,
I don't know.
it's kind of hard to root
Could be.
against them.
I don't think it's unrealistic. I think it's like more realistic to where it'll be a 2-1.
But obviously overwhelming into the side of Ohio.
All right, Mr. Spicy. I am on you with the train of BTK. Might be.
Why are there like scores next to their names? Is that like
what do you guys else have to say about
how right they are?
BTK's been doing an amazing job of
Is that what it is? How right? How many times they've been right and wrong? Like, it's pretty interesting, but also it's weird.
They've definitely turned a new leaf, I would say. They definitely finally kind of getting the synergy. I think from the start, we've known they've had a star-studded lineup with Yato.
Is there prediction for the outcome?
All top players from X respective teams,
I'm confused.
right? I think the major issue with them has been synergy. The main
Like the 19-3 or the 20-1? That's what I'm talking about. How it says like that, not the 2-1, 2-0. The other number. Like I'll show you. Like how it says 21-3 with Eunice and 20-4 with Decisive. And then PRX is 19-5, and then private has like 21-3. What does that mean? Oh, we're in draft. Oh my god, they fucked up the layout. Look at it.
The part 2 of the sequel between Ohio and BTK. Van's already coming out nice and fast, but you know what? Before we hop into those, there's some storylines.
The layout looks screwed up.
I can smell the scent, right, of the revenge story from Zane. They're looking envious.
It says extended long name N.
Conflict since the year 1862, April 12, 4:30 in the morning. Shots fired to kick off the first Civil War. That was the Civil War. The Civil War, North America, the Great War, and it started to look like we're poised for another one. When we're
TOB banning Valentina Yuzong.
Couldn't have worded any better.
Got Fanny joy bans on BTK side.
Right now, NA is.
Oh, NA game. And I move my camera for no reason.
Civil War of Mobile Legends in America. It is TOB versus
low budget. Yeah, they just can't get the layout. They still haven't gotten the layout to work.
What storyline could we ask for here? And like you said, anyway,
Something with the coding or something. Who knows? Change the video quality? Bro, this is as best it's gonna get, I'm pretty sure. Can I make it better? I'm literally on HD, 1080, 60 frames. But I don't know. It's the best. Best it's gonna go. 1080p.
Up and up, but it's definitely gonna be a big fight here, right? Some of the bands coming out looking pretty overall, Deku.
What is it, scrim picks? Yeah, their layout just like doesn't work, so they have to use this.
You know, it looks
It's
like
kind of funny.
XP is kind of being targeted out just a little bit. We got 2 of those picks, Joy taken out as well as the Yuzhong. We know there's definitely some picks that are kind of comfort to the hands of T as well. So it looks like some of those are kind of getting taken off the board, but it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to finalize the first half. I know one thing, Trex. I am excited to see the matchup in between Zane and
Mariana
player. I want to see
Cross.
what those two are going to bring out to the table. Will Zane bring out some more of those damage junglers? We know last night we got some really stop pulling punches to go for that Esmeralda jungle as Arlok gets locked in by Yureshi, Trex.
Yeah, I think we definitely see the Fredrin pick come here from MOBA Zane most likely. Maybe the Farza for Yato. You know, you mentioned the Zane and best player. For me, it's Yato Hoon. I feel like Hoon kind of demolished last time. And a lot of people wonder why I'm such a fan of BTK this season, why I'm like, I want to see them do good. I was a big fan of Yato.
First pick Arlots. That's interesting.
Back in Team First Blood. It's not even exactly a
That is
Zane
interesting.
thing. I just love some of these players. And I love TLB too. Shark, literally the best roamer in all of NA. Hands down, right? Hoon, one of the best mages in all of NA. Right now, statistically, practically the best.
I like the glue band though. I feel like glue is like an EXP where you'd almost never die. Lolita Farsa. I like those picks too. Those are good picks.
Feeling flexible here. They're gonna
might go Diggy.
The Lolita and the Farza.
Or Kufra.
Still a solid
I have to see. Nobody banned Diggy, so that's interesting.
That's right, you could say. So I definitely like the Farsa pickup, especially now that
Increase the commentary volume a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a little quiet.
What was I saying? Even Farsa's kind of been that answer up.
I wasn't sure if that was just me. I think the stream is just abnormally quiet right now.
So in case maybe if that did get picked up,
I can't hear anything they're saying.
The evil Lolita combo in that position 4 and 5 slot. So I feel like that's a pretty okay read. I'm not normally a fan of locking in those roams nice and early.
I can't hear a single thing they're saying.
On the board there to be taken a response.
Hopefully you guys can't either.
Bad response, like you said. That's a pretty solid draft. Taking that Lolita in Farsa.
Atlas.
Definitely now. Hoon gonna lock
I doubt
in
it.
gonna lock in this Faramis, which
Claude.
I like the Faramis to a sense. I think it can be a little squishy. Can have a slightly rough early game. I think Yato may have a bit more mobility here. Of course, he'll have a bit more mobility here with the wings by wings. And again, I think one of the major winning points for BTK
EXP would be the best pick. They already banned 1 EXP. And BTK banned 2 of them, and they'll probably spend their TO will probably do the last 2 bans on EXP, and just let Zane play whatever jungle.
You know what I'm saying? With
that, I don't like that.
You have some
They're gonna
ability
ban
to slow
EXPs
them down.
now.
Shark may not have the ability to be
BTK probably gonna ban
in the laning phase
junglers, but there's no
could
point
be
banning
good for
junglers.
BTK. It's
Tanks, I guess, would be the best bans.
for BTK here.
Absolutely, and we're seeing the win condition come through as MOBA Zane has locked in that Fredrin. You're kind of wondering where was that in those first 2 picks. Looks like we're going to go ahead and fall back on old habits, and not a bad one, as we do know
T's going to be forced on like
a
weaker EXP
in that jungle position. But now we're transitioning right over to that second half of the ban.
Oh, wait, okay, I guess goal lane is just an option too.
So those jungle picks on the side of best player, but
I think ESPN's probably be smarter. So I guess ESO's been known to spam Beatrix, so I guess that's a fair ban.
By the side of TOB.
The Beatrix.
Yeah, I think a Ling could be a problem.
I see ESO spam it a lot.
Also, we know how well best players do. I mean, he's been super flexible. He's been all over, from tank jungle to assassin jungle. We saw him pick up the tanks a lot last night. Did an amazing job on it, and that pick alone has just like rocketed into S tier around the globe. Right, the tank slot is being picked all over the place. So it is definitely a hot pick, and I think that's what BTK is debating right now. It's like, man, do we ban out this Lance?
ESO's just gonna go Leslie Watch. I don't think Leslie's a good pick.
A lot of options
until
that
like
could be
the rest of their comp. Elkert. Interesting.
They decide to go for the Helkert instead.
Interesting on that Helkert.
Hey, they got the layout to work.
Something else to focus on. You were talking about the hot pick there, but in the hot seat right now is BTK's gold laner. We saw, right? TOB already locking the Claude. They banned out the Beatrix. 1-1 off the board as well. Marksman pool starting to dwindle down. Will they have the flexibility? Will they have some picks there to still be on the board to kind of handle up against Claude right now? Because it is, like I said, starting to shrink down, as well as the junglers for the side of TOB. Both teams got to make some adjustments, maybe some tough calls here on what they're going to slot in for those respective roles.
Okay, so we've talked about the matchup of Zane and Best Player. We talked about Hoon Yato. I got one for you.
What's the last ban from TOB? We're waiting on that right now.
Come onto the team. He was a sub.
Diggy not bad for TOB? Yeah, Diggy isn't bad at all.
Seems like Unicutie was continuously having MS issues. So Isso's in, and he's shown pretty good. I almost feel like the team is running a little bit better since he's been on. Basically,
imagine standing up and not wearing shorts. That'd be me.
Really stepped up
I would just be wearing shorts and like a nice top.
M4 to M4 to now, he's played a lot better than I think what a lot of viewers and fans have felt about him before. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think Isso is a competitor against him in this gold lane?
I think you have to be really good to make it work. Because RSG, or not RSG, Red made it work.
We've seen a lot of basics.
They clapped RSG,
ISO,
but honestly, it's like it's not really a hero. So they're not about the hero for them. It's more about the macro.
In that gold lane role very
I feel like it could work.
But I think it maybe steps out a little further than that. We've seen both. Or not both. We've seen basic kind of struggle on the
why
lane.
carry?
He wasn't getting those rotations, a lot of early assistance, especially out there during their M4 run underneath the valley. And I feel like right now BTK has a little bit more favoring.
I'm not sure about the carry pick.
Gold lane, especially when you have that little Lita.
It's actually not bad versus lands. Maybe they protected the lands.
Nice and quick with the wings by wings. It can definitely alleviate
carry for tanks a lot. Yeah, carry definitely better versus tanks a lot than Melissa.
Basic. Those early rotations are definitely going to be able to help him out.
But like carry kind of blows versus Fairness.
Especially when you're looking at who can get the kills off nice and early. And even just with
carry wins versus Claude though.
Ganks. And
because like
I feel like
Claude can't win the nature of her damage.
In response to the Claude, carry plays extremely well in the Claude, nice in the laning. She's going to be able to match later on.
If he goes Diggy here, it's really bad for BTK though.
The DPS from Claude with the Blazing
but I'm not sure if he'll go Diggy.
Target with the speedy light wheels. But there's a potential here for ISO to outperform basic for sure in this match.
Yeah,
I think the major. I like the laning phase for ISO here. I like that a little bit. I think when it comes to late game, there could be some issues in a sense.
Esme's really good here. The only one who can burst Esme is Claude.
Lack of mobility,
and he kind of fucks up Diggy.
And then also,
that's actually a really good pick.
Normally, Claude would do great against the Faramis, but they don't have that in the hands of BTK. So a little bit tough there. I still like both drafts, and now Shark bringing out the Diggy.
I think if this game, if EXP wins in BTK's favor, it could be really easy.
Shark actually plays.
I think the early game is going to be defined by the EXP.
But he uses that reverse time so good in a sense.
And then late game is just dependent on macro, because both teams are pretty even in that regard.
Basic in this early phase instead of being the aggressive tank.
But I think the early game is going to be like heavily dependent on EXP side. Because if Esme snowballs, there's nobody on TOB that can kill him. But if like Esme gets behind, then it's just going to be like an even game.
This BTK squad, we saw them suffer a defeat early on up against the Diggy. It really countered them.
So it's going to be Esme. It's going to be like a.
With that being said, we're going to have to hold the ball on that track. We're heading into game 1, series 1.
Oh, let's go. This is exciting.
The revenge tour. Everything you can think of.
Yeah, Esme kind of saved BTK draft, I'm not going to lie.
Up against the Ohio.
The Esme really made it seem like a powerful counter to Diggy. Where he can burst.
The pause. The pause.
I think the pause is probably on TOB side. Someone's probably lagging. I know Carl's been complaining a lot about lagging in the tourney server.
I loved it. Sadly,
that's probably what it is.
How it goes. Teams like to pause it sometimes. Gives us
thoughts on Hellcurt ban.
Go a little bit deeper on that.
Maybe TK didn't have enough time to prepare for it. Like versus
Absolutely.
Hellcurt.
And you know, like I said, but
MPLPH, I've seen Hellcurt.
Yes, Shark can play the Diggy
I saw
well. I feel like
Hellcurt,
Shark
does
can play
pretty well.
anything well. He's the best from an NA, like you said, undoubtedly, no matter what team he's on. He's definitely top of the line. But we have to note, right? We've talked about Shark being very aggressive, but with this Diggy,
probably has pause from TOB side for sure.
Normally where Shark shines the most. He does exceptionally well when he's able to open up the map with vision. He's able to face check the bushes without really being contested. He's able to go for those amazing game-changing sets. I have to say, but with this Diggy, you're a little bit more on the average side, which might be spelling a little bit of an issue. I do like that it answers up against Lolita to kind of deal with Joybot, who we know can find some great sets, as he had led to some victories for BTK. But I feel like they still have the answer with that Farsa. We know the Feather Airstrike can pop out that reverse time nice and early, maybe even the Cult Alter. So it's not like there's not answers from both of these teams to deal with the other. It's definitely going to come down to a level of execution, and that's the scary part, because there's no telling who's going to be able to execute better. This is BTK versus Ohio again. Still, even with the standings, how they're saying arguably the 1 and 2
it's probably
team, the most
TOB.
eyes, even with BTK in that third slot.
Someone's probably lagging on TOB side, since I've been hearing that from them a lot, that they're lagging on the tourney accounts.
Ohio brothers, as it comes to 5-man,
so let's see.
They're highly mobile. It's going to be a little weird using the Cult Altar when you have this Lance dancing all over the place.
Some pause already? Yeah, man. I feel the same way.
Shark, things like that. But then that timed up with the time journey. Definitely a lot of sustainability on the
Who's
side of Ohio
Brody?
Brothers. BTK, though, I think their
Just
late game
relax.
is solid right now. Like, if this ends up going into very late phases, you have this Esmeralda, you have Farza.
Both comps are very strong. Yeah, both comps are
You have
strong.
this carry, high damage.
I think it's more going to be like
Still
an
have the season
execution
light, so
difference
there's a lot of ways to bait out that
than it is going to
reverse-
be like a
that
comp
reverse time
difference.
from Diggy. So I like late game for BTK.
No, early dash from
kinda-
Ohio, they can do big buffs.
I like the
I
lane
mean, they
phase
can,
best
so they
player,
can't.
just because
They have a
I mean,
Diggy for
even the
pressure,
thing
but
about the
like
pixel art,
Veramis
you still do nice damage,
is not like
even when you're
consistent
building
damage early game.
and tanking
He's a
those
pull
early
and a little bit of
phases.
burst.
But I feel like
Compared to
mid lane,
Farsa,
like,
who has the 1-2
Gato,
combo,
Jobaj
would do
may
more,
have a
much
bit
more
of
damage than
advantage
Veramis.
over Shark and Hoon, just depending on how they try to take this.
It really depends, just
Well,
like
I
this
feel
game.
like I
On
feel that
I'd
100%
say mid
because,
lane,
automatically
no,
with
not
the
mid
Diggy
lane.
and the Rams, you have
Mid
two
and
switch
EXP,
keys,
I would say,
right?
are the
Those
defining
4 or 5
factors of
is
this
gonna be
game.
extremely hard to not only go for the rotations, but to safely go for them because neither one can really navigate those bushes safely, right? Obviously, you can use the Diggy bombs here and there, but let's say you don't have one ready, or maybe you get a little too close to place one, and then a Lolita jumps out with the stun, and then you get followed up by the stun from Farsa, and then the Feather Airstrike drops down. It's a lot of ways that can go wrong if those bushes aren't cleared effectively and efficiently. But like we said, is really going to come down to the execution of those things. I do like what you mentioned about the tank
Come
slot, though. I
on,
feel
unpause the
tank slot
game,
that's cleared and then
please.
Freshy on this R lot are really going to be the winning
What is
recipe
going
if
on
they
here,
can disrupt
man?
that
Are you
Farsa.
serious right
If
now?
They can give Yato a hard time, which we have seen Ohio do during.
Oh wow,
one,
they just swapped
when he
screen. I
had
thought
that
I was like,
Diggy,
yay,
he
it's gonna
had
go back in.
hard
No,
time
no,
in the
they
match.
just swapped the screens,
But will they
man.
be able to
Nothing's
disrupt
happening
if they
here.
disrupt the Farsa? I feel like this can easily go into the hands of Ohio, but the same can be said if the Farsa can disrupt this Diggy and this
Are you not
Flamus,
playing? So going to Indo to try out for MPL. At the end of this month.
I think
At the end of this
all
month, I'm
stats
leaving.
aside,
I'm leaving to Indo, chat.
All heroes aside, let's get down to the real spicy topic here, right?
Either the
Down
end
to
of this
real-
month or
the
beginning of
real-
May.
let's
And
get the
I'll
real
know
figures down
exact
here. We got
dates
some time
after
to go.
MPL
We
ends,
got
and
a
I
few
talk more with like
minutes. All right,
managers
so
about
TLB,
exact dates I can be there for
wins,
trials.
or TLB loses. It's okay. They still stand atop. I feel
That's why
like
I'm not playing in
BTK
this.
has a lot more to lose in this game, right? Zane's coming in.
Gambate,
He's coming in
gambate.
hot. They lose out on this.
Fighting.
They lose out on this win. It kind of really like seals the fact of TLB just reigning supreme, and it really seals the fact.
I'm
of,
excited,
like,
but at the same time, like,
probably
nervous.
Playoffs. We were talking about this
Because I feel
before.
like
BTK wins.
there might have been
this.
some
They
new-
win this game right here.
new
Yes,
stuff
TLB's still at the top of the
that I'm not
leaderboard,
like
but it
learning
means a lot, I think, for the totality.
because so
of
much
the
time has
season.
passed since M4, and you really only learn stuff when you're
Absolutely
there.
right. Like you said, Ohio's going to remain.
So I
at
feel
the
like
top,
I'm
but
gonna be a
only
bit
in
behind when I get there,
standings. We're
and
talking about the
I'm
matches,
gonna
we're
have to
talking about
hope
the gameplay. BTK
that the
can
teams I'm
secure
trying out
game,
for are a
whether
little
it's a 2-0,
patient
whether it's a 2-1, no matter what.
and trying to help me
regardless of
catch up.
the
So I feel like I'll be able to
BTK's
catch up
gameplay
and
today,
perform,
Now we have
but
on the
it's
table
about whether
here
they're willing when they
another
catch up or
storyline
not.
to talk about that Ohio is not
Because like
a
macro
team that can't be
team
beaten
tech always
by
changes.
BTK. It's not going to be a repeat of week 1. It means BTK has closed the
So we'll have
gap
to see.
that was set
ESO, you
in
know, no,
stone
ESO is like
above
easy
Ohio from week
peasy
1. It means
West.
they have caught up. Or
Take the
maybe
West, easy
Ohio has
peasy.
peaked
He was a
on
jungler.
gameplay and talent, but either way, it's going to be a scary side if BTK can win today.
Definitely a
And he moved to
skill set.
gold.
You still have, I mean, honestly,
Like
the
Guapo
top
in
four,
Fallout.
and then you still have
Junglers
Ackerman,
moving to
who's
gold lane.
great, getting stronger, getting stronger. I think a lot of people, a lot of us are like sealing the deal for those playoffs. I'm a
start.
strong believer that playoffs are.
TLB's probably having a lagging issue, and they don't want to play
Whatever top
until the
four
lagging
teams
issue's
make it in there,
fixed.
It could go
'Cause why would they?
a lot of ways. And right now, BTK trying
Wow,
to make
they're
a
still not
big
starting. Holy.
statement here. If they can get the win, right? They move. They don't take the second. They don't take the second spot. Even if Ackerman loses here, BTK still
Bless you.
sits
Thank you.
in the third spot because of their match. Like what the numbers we're seeing right now is their exact games, and we. For those that don't know, the season doesn't go by exact games. Match ratio comes first, then it goes down to exact games. There's point structure, +2 for win, -1 for a loss. But either way, Ackerman, whether they lose tonight or not, they still hold
I listen to
second.
too many
But
songs.
BTK was
Too many.
slowly
I've been
getting
watching too many
them
reels
closer to that
and seeing that
second
song.
place spot.
Way too many.
It
Way
definitely does.
too
And
many.
like I said, even if they don't move up, and you kind of agree to that point as well, whether BTK stays in that third slot or not all the way through, if they can win tonight, that still lets us know what can happen in that playoff run, like you said. Or
Same thing every day
a
at M4.
matchup in the grand
You're right.
finals,
I
if that's
forgot.
to be
Common
decided
TikTok
by the
enjoyer?
boards
No,
of
I don't watch
MLBB
TikTok. I use
themselves, so we'll
Instagram.
be yet to see. But Trex, I'm
The
very
only
excited
social
to be
media
able to get this
platform
match
I look
underway
at
at some point,
reels
because
are
this
is
is gonna
Instagram and
set the
YouTube.
precedent,
And even that's too
right?
much.
Like you said, if Ohio finds the win, it keeps them still in that nestle
Holy.
of, they
God
can't
tier.
really
That's
be
horrible.
touched. Exactly, like a step above the rest of these teams, because it's not like in this top 4 there's any real slackers. They're all incredible teams, but if Ohio takes down BTK again in week 2, it just confirms what a lot of NA hasn't been wanting to admit, and that's that Zane is not the #1 guy here in this NACT.
I think for me, it's more of it's not exactly about Zane. It's
God,
not exactly
can we get to the game?
Like, as a caster, as I've been doing this for the past year or so, I love all the teams, right? And one
As someone watch YouTube shorts for 1 hour, I woke up this morning to watch YouTube shorts
BTK was the
for
best team in NA. I
an
didn't
hour.
like seeing it. I hate to go into a grand finals playoffs and just see the semifinalists get swept completely. I want to see challengers, and I'm hoping that this second leg, TOB starts to get some challengers here. BTK wins this. It just
seeing instead of listening to them boring.
Then we go into Ackerman versus TOB later on, like next week or whatever. I mean, it's hopefully some of these teams in the middle of the standings start to give challenges to the top dogs, right? Or should I say top dogs, TOB dogs right now, because they are definitely they're just running through this season with too much ease.
Face red, droopy eyes, face red, droopy eyes, face red, droopy eyes.
Big dogs in the standings. Call him Cujo. Some of you kids that may not know about that,
face red, droopy
definitely
eyes.
The fiercest one in the backyard, locked up away from everybody else right now. But like you said, if BTK can win this, not only does that open up, right, the possibility to be able to take them down in the playoff run and grand finals, it also means Ackerman is just right there, because I feel like Ackerman is right there with BTK, if maybe not a step above right now. They are ahead of them on the standings. I feel like the gameplay from Ackerman, what we've been seeing from BTK recently, is what we've been getting from Ackerman the whole NACT regular season.
I'm gonna change my profile picture.
I feel like a BTK win opens up a lot of possibilities. There's a shot, right? If Ohio takes a loss tonight, there's no guarantee that they do make it to a grand finals, because anything can happen in that playoff run. If they lose tonight, it's best of fives. I mean, it's a long series. That's a lot on the mentality, right, of these players. But same can be said for the rest of the teams.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, right? I think playoffs are definitely going to be insane.
Face red, droopy eyes, bro. I can't even see the emotes. It's just saying like face red, droopy eye.
2-0'd by BTK last night, and
some people says it works, some people doesn't. Show the cat.
Right? He picks up the
bro, I don't know the cat.
Jungle last
He
night.
vibing somewhere, bro.
I'm
trying to just get to this game already.
And I think it's just going to show that
face red, droopy eyes.
Getting a bit more comfortable. They're willing to bring out a couple more cards here and there. We're not just always falling back to the Akai jungle, the Frederick jungle. We're willing to get a little bit different, and it's just showing growth overall from their team. TOB hasn't gotten put in a spot where they have to feel enough pressure to have to grow like that. So, which I'm liking the draft from BTK this game 1, if they're able to win this, will TOB evolve? Is TOB also, do they have some limits to break as well, or are they just stuck at that top tier mark?
And
yo mama. That's what I think. Yo mother.
Here, I feel like if BTK wins, a lot of us are going to be on that wall of shame, except for you. Right now, you'll be in the Hall of Fame for cast predictions to be that one underdog vote for the one underdog team in this series. But now that we've been talking all this, I know I put the 2-0 for Ohio, but obviously you can hear the possibility in my voice here about what could transpire in between Ohio and BTK. And, even though it's an overwhelming support for them, BTK, right? You just can't count them out. They have MOBA Zane. The man has the most NACT wins under his belt than anybody in the North American region. The most experience out there at the world stage, the greatest storylines, the greatest highlights, the face of NA undoubtedly. So it's really extremely hard, even with those
draft. Are they still not in the game yet? Holy. Gameplay, hello? Now the stream is just frozen? What's going on here?
Right. Even with the 2-0 on the board for me personally for Ohio, I'm really excited and looking forward to see what Zane can do, because
they must have restarted the game. They're trying a different server.
Statements like no other if he comes out here and takes down the Ohio Brothers with this young team of fresh faces.
They're trying a different server. They're trying a different server, probably.
Essentially, the game had to get reset. There was a slight couple technical issues in the tournament lobby. So the drafts you're seeing here don't mean a whole lot. At least the fans don't trust me. They're not banning out Nana on purpose. It will be the same exact picks coming through. Everything. We're just resetting to make sure that both teams are playing on the best possible MS. Now, you mentioned the predictions, right? This is why.
Same heroes? Yeah, it'll be the same heroes. They're just redoing the draft.
But when you get a spicy right prediction,
they're redoing the server, like the server. New picks, same heroes, same heroes.
Care if you guys got it wrong.
That's why they have shitty bans.
Almost all of my predictions have been wrong this season
because they're speedrunning the heroes.
Except for Private and Ben, but if I get this one right tonight,
prediction, I think go either way.
Man. I'm gonna be in the caster
I don't know
prediction Hall of Fame for this one right here.
No doubt, regardless of what Franco and Valir say, you're definitely going to make it to the gates of Valhalla if you nail this one right with BTK taking the match up against Ohio.
Yeah, they're just
I
repicking
feel like
Chillax.
deep in everybody's heart, right? Even with the overwhelming support for Ohio.
What the fuck? Who is that in the bottom right corner, chat?
What could be sweeter
Hanzo?
than seeing BTK take
that
down
Hanzo?
Ohio in the week 2? Because then it'll be 1-1.
The bottom right corner?
And while that may mean BTK even the score, we're looking to see who's going to finish out with the score on top.
Lapu.
And that's going to be a lot to look
How
forward
is that
to when
Lapu?
you're talking about going to the playoffs, because that means the storyline doesn't end
I think
here
it's Hanzo.
tonight if BTK can find the win. They're going to have to break that tie eventually if they can take victory here up against Ohio. And that's what I'm really looking forward to see, if Zane and them can maybe make that narrative come true.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna be jumping into it soon. Finally, it's like they were just building up
Dog.
the tension even more.
Pins
It's like
and
we're all
needles.
ready to go. And it's like, all right, we're actually gonna make you guys wait 10 more minutes just because we know how hype this series is. Definitely a series I think we've all been waiting for. Season, I said in the very beginning, I felt like
Very on
always a
across.
little
Do do do
now
do
TLB
do
wins this
do
one.
do.
I definitely
I
am
think
on
it's
the boat of
Hanzo.
like, all right, TLB are just pure monsters, which I already am on the boat that they are pure monsters. But it's more in the boat that they are just like way above BTK here. BTK wins this, like we've been saying repeatedly for the past 10 minutes. There's a lot of opportunity. The board opens up, and it gives me hope that, maybe Ackerman beats the Ohio Brothers. Maybe Area 77 comes in and beats it.
Finally,
But
gameplay.
we will see, because we are now
Let's
jumping
see.
back
Will they
in
insta-pause?
to Game 1, Match 1 in a best of 3. This is BTK
Oh, they're not
with
insta-pausing.
the revenge match
Lovely.
against the Ohio Brothers.
I don't
I knew it. I
No,
called it. I called it. I called it.
No, stop the cap.
Yeah, I called it. Fuck
Lord have
yeah.
mercy,
Where's
Trax.
my
We are
prediction
getting
medal? Where's my
trolled right
prediction
now.
medal?
Where's the cameras at?
Talk
Where's
about
my
it.
caster prediction medal? You guys always talk about
Talk
prediction
about
medals. Where's mine? Come on, I had just the prediction of the year.
All right, bear with us, guys. Bear with us. Bear with us. I don't know which team it is. One of the players, I'm sure, is having some.
Give me my
serious
medal. Where's my
MS
medal?
issues or something like that. Listen, I've seen longer
Fuck
pauses.
you. Where's my
in
medal?
FPL
Where's my
PX. Come on.
medal?
Yeah,
I've
that's right.
seen
had the best
much longer
prediction.
pauses. I've waited for like 15, 20 minutes to watch a BTK versus Echo. I mean, to watch a Echo versus Blacklist game. Don't act like you guys haven't. It happens,
Are they too
But I
loud?
don't know if I have any more.
Is it too
talking
loud for you
points on
guys?
BTK
I don't think
versus
so.
the Ohio Brothers, Deku. Ackerman, though.
Who's
Ackerman.
pausing?
How do you
It's
feel
probably
about it?
TOB, and someone on their team is lagging. Because
For
Carlos is having
Ackerman,
lagging
right?
issues
I feel a lot
yesterday.
better about Ackerman,
So I'm pretty
like you
sure
said,
it's just
if we
Carlos
see it
lagging, and they're trying to fix it because they don't want to have
even
him
without
lagging
that,
and
they
throw
kinda
the game
solidified
like how he
themselves
almost
as
threw
a
a
serious
Fallout.
competitor. I know they kind of been under the radar.
So that's probably what the
because
issue
biggest
is.
Storyline is right in front of us. It's been BTK and Ohio since week 1. How that's going to turn out the second time around. But Ackerman's just been kind of under the radar, right? They've just been cruising all up into that second place spot. They're in second place and still hear a lot more about third place and first place here. But Ackerman's definitely a team that is poised to strike, and that's the thing about them. They're not really on the radar, right? But if you're talking between these two teams, I'm sure both of them have their eyes on each other. Ohio and BTK, and Ackerman has kind of been the afterthought, but they've been putting a lot of teams as the afterthoughts. They've sent a lot of those teams to see in that lower 4 down there personally, striking first on them as they've been ascending up the standings board.
Yeah, I mean, it took a few weeks, but things have definitely started to lay out. I did some power rankings. I expected Ackerman to do pretty well. Area 77, though, has been on this downward spiral, kind of. Like, they had a really good start. Now they've taken a couple sweeps. They've taken a couple losses.
Me silently waiting for this pause meta to end.
See where teams are standing. Same with Fallout.
Mobile Legends pause.
For lack of better words, falling out, as all of us have kind of been meaning about.
Yo, chat, like the stream and subscribe, please. I need it. Trying to get 100K. If you're not already sub, appreciate it. If you haven't already liked the stream, would appreciate that too. 8,000 more subs till 100K. Well, it's like 7,500 now. So please, if you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help me get there, you know. Go brawl. Chat. I probably could brawl, and this game wouldn't be on pause yet. You wanna bet?
For a handful of teams, right? It's still up for grabs.
You guys wanna bet that I could brawl, and this game wouldn't unpause yet?
For that 4th place spot, like you said, and earlier how I mentioned that it's kind of do or die. It's really only for that 4th place spot. Most of these teams are going to be battling it out.
You could
4th
rank.
place first is going to be secured by Ohio, right? Without a doubt. Then you have Ackerman and BTK kind of battling for 2nd and 3rd place. I don't think anyone's going to come up there.
All right, let's keep a brawl match. I'll go back and forth to show you the game is still going.
Up too much, so it really is gonna
okay, now it's just they're bringing on the host. Oh, you know it's bad when they're bringing on the host. You know the shit ain't gonna turn back anytime soon when they're bringing on the host. They don't give a fuck how long they stall it out. They stalled it out by 3 hours yesterday. 3 hours yesterday, they didn't start the stream because of production issues. I'm gonna be here for the next 2 hours, sitting here while playing Brawl, listening to this, and wanting to blow my brains out.
But okay, since the Ohio Brothers Bloodthirsty Kings,
yeah, those are great thoughts.
Those are great
Yeah.
points. Great points.
Right?
I cannot wait.
Xena,
I'm
a woman
excited to
of
see
many
the
words.
Of one thing
Yes.
is the beginning of
I'm
another.
excited to see these
Oh,
matches.
she would be really good as a mime.
I know, right?
Excellent.
You guys,
There she is.
right?
There's
Let's play
her
some
beautiful
Brawl.
voice.
You love the minding, but anyways, I'm excited to see this match because I think
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm
BTK
excited
could
too.
come back.
Woo!
Like ever since they had their
Who's your
changes,
vote?
they've been playing.
Who's your
Well,
vote?
shoot, I don't even remember what I voted. I don't even
What is
remember.
it
I'm
right
not
now?
even saying.
I don't remember why I'm here either.
100 viewers watching. What's your prediction?
Why am I here? I'm not watching any gameplay. What's going
Purple's
on?
in or purple's out. Choose wisely.
This is going to be a big decider.
Hey, well, we all know that the Ohio Brothers are kicking
I guess I can
butt.
turn the
They're
volume
synergy
down while in
awesome.
the
They have
background.
3 people from the valley.
You guys don't want to listen to it.
But I think
But
BTK could, like you said, it'll be probably a 2-1. But I think
Watch the real brawl. Watch the real. This is the real gameplay. This is what you guys came to watch, right? This is what NACT came to watch.
You heard me.
All you guys want to watch the NACT? This is the real. This is where it's at.
I said that I think the Ohio Brothers are gonna take it. But
This,
it will be a
nah.
battle.
This, yeah.
2-1. You know, this time around because I think they found their groove. BTK. So.
I respect your opinion because I'm non-toxic.
But guys, remember we have 3 more giveaways to
Welcome to Mobile
Stick
Legends.
around for them. I'm gonna pop them up.
Alright, we're gonna be
Right
Nuker
now,
Esme.
we have
Nuker
one
Esme.
that We're gonna give you 30 codes on the screen.
I should know my magic shop or magic worship.
Till the enemy reaches the
We're just gonna charge ults and try to one-shot people.
One of those great skins right there.
all troops deployed.
Only in Brawl you would see this.
Let's have a glimpse
Imagine
into the
I go for
unknown.
someone in Brawl. that'd be pretty hilarious.
Get those in right now. You got time, you know?
I had to just get the wave and get 4.
I'm just kidding now. I'm not taking it. Watch me put in these codes and they're like, hey, that's not fair.
Damn, my team's going deep. I'll be goner. Yeah, I'm a goner. Alright, pen boots. Let's go for the holy crystal.
I've seen this among many
Dude, they went back to the draft screen. Back to the draft screen. Woo!
And I hope that quote stays true because this is going to be exciting.
Flickers don't exist? Yeah, I know. What's the point?
For the 3rd time underway. We might make it. This might be the time we cross the finish line, Trex. I'm hoping. Okay, here. We're not doing it. My time. Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't get Trinkle
Gentle
open.
Lambs and Gentle Giants. Game 1, BTK up against Ohio, the sequel, the 2nd part of this amazing series. And my and now,
Oh, they're in. Fuck this.
10 out
I'm
of 10,
AFK.
Deku. Definitely a much better introduction than mine was in the second one, even though I topped your first one. But we are here now, and we've talked about the draft so much. I'm just excited to see how it unfolds, Deku.
Yeah, nothing too interesting happening here.
It feels like we've been waiting so long, but it's finally underway. And in between these two teams, Trex, we're seeing a mirrored effect on them both of the rotations here from the junglers. So it looks like we might be
I think it's
skipping
off
out
screen.
on the Litho fight.
Nothing too interesting
Based on
happening.
that
Pretty
red
even
buff,
from both
maybe looking to
sides.
help out on that gold lane. You can see Yato already making his rotation, or not over to the gold lane, but over here to the XP lane, maybe for that early play with this Farsa. So you can see
And they're
the
scared
teams
as hell.
that
No
are
one's doing
BTK
anything.
are
No one
trying
wants
to
to
use
risk
that
losing this
rotation.
game, so they're actually gonna play
Farsa
safe.
with the wings by wings. They didn't find anything yet, but you can see they
Lance
are
isn't
looking
contesting that.
potentially to be able to take someone down nice
Understandable.
early with it.
Yeah, and best player doesn't even want to go for the Lethal Wander. Shark, I was thinking maybe he would babysit gold.
Oh,
lane,
Basic's getting
but
zoned
he's
off quite a
seeing
bit.
more
He's
of-
getting frozen too.
vision. He made sure that Zane already took his orange buff.
They're playing.
This gave
It's good if they play a
information
hard
over to
top
best
side than
player.
I basic
And
gold.
now
Like, that's
they
really
know,
good.
All right, we're going to give up Lethal Wander here. Things going pretty slow, though. No clashes. We're only a minute in. But a lot of times in NA, they get spicy off rip. But I think both teams know how much is on the line here.
Absolutely, a lot on the line. Like you said, a lot on the side of MLBB there. So he's going to use that retro to pick up that golden crab. And you know,
Nothing
I like
happening.
what
They're still
Shark
trying
is
to freeze
doing,
top, which is
right?
good.
We talked about how ISO kind of had that.
They should
upper
keep
hand
trying.
with the landing phase, but if Biggie does the good
Carlos
job
is
here,
farming.
Shark does
Ooh,
a
he
good
got the
job
camp.
babysitting,
It's good.
it can
He gets
definitely
a little
help out the
quicker.
matchup because
He needs to back off and
obviously
maybe
the 1v1,
reset
it
before
kinda goes in
turtle.
favor of ISO, and
That way he's full
2v1
HP for it.
number advantage.
Yato's gonna stay for the
to
wave.
the side of Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, so far, though, BTK, I would say that Zane's having a slightly quicker laning phase. He's already in position for this turtle. We need to see how Yato and Shark are going. How Yato and Joybaj are going to come in as well. Zane's trying to claim a nice position for it. You're actually also trying
Turtle
to get
fight.
this
Let's see what goes. Let's see what happens.
Loaded.
T on Carlos. He's low as hell. Cold
Nice
altar.
feathered airstrike. Turtle getting
Oh,
very, very low.
Zane with the
takes
red tree.
The first
Joybaj
turtle.
with the
Here
ult.
comes Newman on black.
It's not
Shark
onto-
gonna get stunned up.
Shark has no
A
ult
lot of
either.
damage. Does not have that ultimate.
Shark's
Yato
dead.
taken out by Yureshi though. T able to find Shark.
Yureshi's dead though.
Could be good. Yureshi very low
That's
as well.
massive
A nice
for
double
BTK.
kill going into the hands of T, giving BTK
Half a thousand
solid
gold lead.
lead in this phase.
Absolutely, they took the 2-for-1 trade, and not just that, right? Not stopping at the kills. MLBB Zane able to pick
That
up
Esme turtle pile is just so much more
First
insane than
battle up
Arlott.
against
Dude,
the
Arlott's
best
going
player
damage
on
too.
the tanks a lot.
I don't think
So it's
TLB's
gonna be a
winning.
huge sign for them.
Arlott's
But hold on,
damage.
speaking of
I thought
signs,
he was gonna go tank. I think damage is really
Be able to
bad
get out
here.
of that, and that's a good, I mean, the
His
fact
lance
that
isn't
they
really
were
a
able to get that
frontline
pick off is
tank.
very huge.
He's just
Joybaj was
there.
a little out of position.
So try and get
Wasn't
red
ready to
trues.
try to help
If
out
Arlott
ISO
went tank,
there.
I'd have more faith in
If
TOB.
ISO gets taken down too
But he's
early,
going full
it's a
damage,
huge
and I don't
advantage
like full
basically.
damage here. That's Arlott.
that's right. And speaking of things on the way here, look at Yato and Joybaj.
He's dead.
Ooh, a lot of damage on a Shark. Didn't have the ultimate once again. It's another pick off.
Denied a gold cannon for basic. Really good.
And this is what we
Oh,
might
actually, no, I don't
see
think they
over
denied
and
it.
over again. It's going to be extremely hard for Shark to be able to keep hold of that time journey. But Hangul, speaking of things,
Hoon in a very bad spot, gonna get taunted
Oh,
up.
kill
Killing
on
spree over
Hoon.
at T.
Actually, with a 3-man ult, but it's not gonna matter.
Joy Boz look for the
He doesn't have the damage to back it up. Zane with the big bonk. Reshi's dead. Like, I think this is gonna be a GG, you guys. It's gonna be a GG. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? The Esme EXP strong side is really gonna win the game.
it's my Fredrin.
I really told you them no.
Already had the first neutral taken up. He's
This
definitely
game was
on
gonna
the
be defined by
lead,
EXP.
has the level advantage right now, already about to go for that number 7. But look at the group up from the side of BTK. They're
This game was
already
100% gonna be
going for
defined by
this 4-man
EXP, and look at it
rotation.
now.
They're looking to go for the invade. Right
Top
now,
this isn't even gonna matter.
Yeah, feather airstrike comes down. Gold Balder comes out, trying to get best
Ooh,
player
this is
over to
interesting.
safety, but BTK
Yato. He has
still
flicker,
holding
though.
a solid
He could
lead.
flicker out, but he's fine.
Yato decides
They-
not to
it's in
go
the back.
for it. BTK
Okay, they need to not get too
disembarked
aggressive here.
from
Just
that
relax
journey,
here.
but still, you
Maintain
see
the lead.
presence they have over the map.
You know,
Damage
that is
Arlott?
so
Dude,
huge.
damage
Like we were
Arlott's so
talking about
greedy
earlier
here.
in the drafting, able to force the
You need a
utility
front line
time
here,
journey
not a
off
damage
the
Arlott. You need
off
front
the
line and
board
sets. You
here.
have a
We're talking
Diggy.
about going for this
Who's gonna
turtle.
set for like
And
TOB's?
Ohio
Honestly, going
State
damage
gonna
Arlott
have
was the
to
stupidest thing they could have done.
use this.
Who's gonna
Right
set?
hands of MLBB Zane, who's gonna pick up the
Who's going to
second
set for you
neutral
guys?
in
No one's gonna set.
single matchup up against
A
the best
flicker
player
tank Arlott
taking
could
the
actually
lead
set
right
for you,
now
but
for
damage Arlott with
BTK.
Petrify cannot
And a
set.
good lead at
That was just that was the mistake they made. That was the big mistake they made. Was going
turtles over the side of BTK.
that.
And I said in the beginning, I feel like BTK has a strong end game with the way they're pacing this, with the lead they already have. I think they're putting this more.
It's not even
and
because of the
more
Fredrin. It's not the
into
Fredrin.
their
I'm telling you, it's not the
favor.
Fredrin.
There's
It's
gonna be
the
great
EXP.
mid-game
There's
spike
just
for
there's an
Yato
EXP
here.
gap
There's gonna
here.
be a nice mid-game spike for T and ISO and
Or she's either
as
playing for
well, so it's
fun or
looking very good for them
he
overall.
thinks damage Arlott will work. I thought damage Arlott would work too in a tourney setting, and then I realized Petrify isn't really that practical with an engage hero, and maybe he hasn't realized that either. Because I think damage Arlott's like strictly a rank thing. I don't think it'll work in a tourney setting, and not versus Esme. 100% not versus Esme. Esme is like a tank hero where you need to go like a tank, just tank build. If it was a bruiser that he could actually burst like Wapu or Yuzong, then maybe.
If BTK, as long as they don't make any mistakes,
But BTK just has to maintain their goal lead here and play and relax. They cannot burst Esme, so Esme can kind of do whatever she wants. The worst case scenario is Fairness Pulse her under tower, and then they try to CC her. That's like the only way she's really dying.
It's hard for Ohio to be able to deal with BTK if they can't get the right footing to be able to make those utilities come into great effect in those 5v5 clashes.
Not only that, but in that first 5 minutes, they spent a lot of time up in that gold lane trying to get a pick onto ISO there. A lot of wasted time at that. 'Cause if you look at ISO's KDA,
look how
it's
much
still
pressure he
0,
has on the bot
0 and
side.
0.
They
No
can do whatever they
deaths.
want down
We
there.
saw Hoon up there. We saw Shark up there. So
They
spending all that time.
they have like insane turtle pile too with Esme. And no one can contest the turtle pile for sure.
Getting better positions overall. Here goes another dive onto ISO. Maybe able to pick up this one. Basic. Finally grabbing one.
Yeah,
Didn't
he
need the
dies
teammates
to
there for
that.
that
That's
one.
so bad that he dies there.
Absolutely, but like you said, it's taken a long
That is really
time
bad.
to get that kind of result. Finally,
You cannot be giving a Claude kills like that.
1v1, but was it enough, and is it on time right now
That
to
is
be able to
bad.
catch up with BTK? It is going to help him take a lead in that gold advantage.
Might not be a free.
up against
I don't know.
ISO, but
Somehow
here
best player
now
has a
we
lead
see
on the
a
Zane.
turtle fighting between both junglers.
Yeah, best player.
Oh,
He's
he gets the
gonna
retry.
take that, just click the button,
I don't know
walk
how he has an
away.
XP lead on
Well
Zane.
played.
I guess because Zane's not really farming
To
as
use
much,
his
and
Phantom
best player
execution,
is.
but ended up not needing it. And I think as we get a little bit farther in this game, he will be able to.
All right, a little bit of a
against Zane
throw.
in those retro battles
A little bit of a
better.
throw.
He's a little bit tankier. He can last. And now first tower of the game, gonna fall over the side of the Ohio brothers. Starting to see the tables turn just a little bit. Best player puncturing through.
The gold's getting a bit more
little
even
bit of
now.
burst damage onto the side of BTK, but nothing too major. Zane wanting to maybe possibly take this fight, moving through the map, but Ohio
BTK
brothers
didn't really do
now
anything with their
taking
lead.
a
They
little
should
bit
have,
of control here.
especially versus Diggy.
And, you know, that's actually
And they
quite
kinda let
huge
their
for them,
goal lane get
right?
fucked.
We were talking about it earlier with the baby,
Which isn't good.
It hadn't led to much, but now being able to find a kill on ISO and that went directly into that.
He's alone here. He doesn't. He won't die. He's too
That
tanky to
go
die.
Man, going here, Zane maybe in some trouble.
Yeah, he's tanky though. He's bulky. I think they know that they can't.
Mid
They don't
bull
have
fight.
the damage quite. But wait a second. A lot of damage on a Shark. Shark's
Shark.
forced to use a flicker.
T
Time
going
turn
on
comes
him.
out, but it is a selfish
Football's
one.
looking for an ult,
at
doesn't
that
matter.
movement on blocks.
Shark's probably gonna die here.
Able
Shark's
to
dead.
get that stun, and T picking up another mega kill
T gets
for
out.
the team.
That's
He's looking
just a
good right
1 for
now
nothing.
at 4-0-1.
BTK's favor.
Esmeralda
Claude does get a
is
tower bot.
back.
But we have to pay attention to the macro coming in from basic. While they lost that, he was able to find a tower on the opposite side of the map. Now both side lanes have been opened up by the side of Ohio Brothers, but BTK is going to look to respond with that up there in the top side.
Okay, interesting,
He's
interesting.
looking to take up this tower, and that's
Some
gonna
top
be
tower
good because
gold.
Originally, before they were able to find the tower, it allowed
Oh, Zane fucked up his retry, but it's not gonna matter. Shark has no ult. He gets bursted down. Best player. It doesn't seem like they have any dashes, but he has one dash. He gets out.
Hits hard at 8 minutes in. Yato able to
Basic.
find that. Not only that, but
Trying to
take that
kill
tower, like you said, and
ET
look at
on the
health
Esme,
bar
but I'm not sure
on
it's
that
gonna work
bot
out for
tower.
him.
It's low. Look at the health bar on this middle tower. It's
T's getting a
gone.
little greedy at bot. I don't like
taking
that
a little bit of
overstaying.
control here.
Fortunately, TOV
Swinging
isn't
back
going
and
down to
forth.
try and stop him.
Can't
They're trying to defend the mid
count
lane.
out just yet, though.
That's already gone though.
You know, I feel like this has a lot to do right now with kind of the position.
The Esme was a really good
from
pick to
Ohio.
counter the
You can
Diggy.
see
Like
they
that was
had
just
basic
such a good
side
pick
lanes
getting the
still
Esme
able to
here.
get that first tower down, but BTK is wasting no time responding to that. They
And he's
know
going
that
mage
the
Diggy.
marksman and the
So he
engineer
can't
off
stop
to the
getting
side,
bursted
they're
from
forcing
Esme.
fights in the jungle, forcing their pressure, like we said.
Ooh,
they
good
have the
damage.
and the CC to do that up against
It's not really
this
gonna matter.
up against this Faramis Shark and Hoon having a
Joey
hard
Bosch needs to
time
play a
holding
bit
back
more
against
safer,
them.
though.
And when they go for the
Because
clash in
like the
jungle,
Diggy ult can be
there's no
baited by the
response
Esme
from
pretty
Ohio.
easily.
They literally
So
have
all he has to do is
fall
wait for the Diggy ult to run out, and then he ults. He shouldn't be forcing the Diggy ult. Esme can always force the Diggy ult just by going on him.
Looks like there's still great positioning here from BTK. Will TOB be able to help the best player? He's the only one right now dancing around that pit.
A lot of damage on him over Zane.
Oh, see, like right there, he got bursted. Zane, 1 HP, he's getting out. He had the retry to get out. Retry going on the back line. Cold altar. Iso's dead. It's just Joy Lodge and T, but T's in there. T doesn't take damage. He's trying to do something. Oh, Lord goes down for TOB. He's not gonna take damage.
Civil War. Lord going to the side.
They really need to play front to
TOB.
back.
A little bit of a swing there. TOB back on the map, evening out the playing field with this gold.
BTK throwing a tad.
For this mid tower, Zane forced to kind
Let's
of
see if it keeps happening. T with the engage. He's too tanky to die anyway. Loading gets pulled out. T might actually die here. Retry's out. Or Archie flickers out. 1 HP, getting out a bit. Ooh, he lives. Iso killing Carlos. A little bit overextension from him. And he's dead.
And down goes best player. BTK trying to
Man,
respond.
overextended a little hard there.
Still coming.
Greedy for the kill.
Maybe a
They're not
bit
gonna get much
too
with the Lord
greedy
because of
for
that.
the best player there. They had
T5
the
and
advantage
0.
with that Lord coming up for the 6v5 with that extra help from the Lord that they were able to pick up against BTK with that well thought out fight that they had up against them in that top side of the river. But with him falling now, that Lord's kind of going to go to waste. Not going to be able to pressure anything else. As far
Even
as
gold on
now.
both sides now
Like
after this
it
Lord.
happen, but that's just about that discipline, right? In between these two teams, who's going to be able to
Looking for something to
really
happen here.
when
Looks
it
like
comes
anything's
to
gonna happen at
executing
all.
on it.
Oh, Zane going in.
But hang on, maybe
He's getting
another force fight
melted
tracks.
though. He has to get out.
Wanting to force this as well, but he's starting to get melted from
Gets that 1
basic.
HP though.
Pneumon Blast does
Oh,
come
Shark
down, does
flickering
not
out.
connect.
Have to
Able
flicker out to
use that
live.
reverse time.
Resh is up there though.
Creating distance
Wonder if anything that happened. They don't have cold altar or Diggy ult here. So that's pretty huge. I'm not sure they can do anything to engage because of that.
No minions left, so they buy themselves a bit more time.
They need to play around T, just walking around the front line. If they get basic, they win GG. It's basic the one that's the issue here. It's because he got those kills early game that made him snowball.
Shark struggling a lot earlier on, right? Being forced to use those time journeys. He's been taking some deaths, but he is still a roam. 0-5-3, not the prettiest KDA.
If they kill basic is GG for sure.
With the time
Basic doesn't have Purify, so if Farsa manages to land a combo on him when he tries to dive,
it seems like right now when
that would be like the best case scenario. That's what they should be playing for.
The time journey, it's a little too early. He needs to kind of sit back, wait a little bit more until it's completely gone, and then look for the set, because he's starting to throw it in a little too early. But speaking of looking for sets, he can still play from Joy Bot.
Shark still does have that time journey, gonna pop it.
Okay, no cold altar or Diggy ult.
Able to get it with the falling star moon.
Carlos is on the back line trying to kill Yato. He's getting caught out. He's one dash, still gets out. We're gonna start throwing around, but nothing's gonna happen. They don't have cold altar or Diggy ult. It's really huge. Those are they're two big team fight ults. They're gone now.
The rest of the team try to get a flank. Gotta keep our eyes on to basic. He's
Carlos stunned with the Diggy ult. Is it gonna matter? Tries to dash out. He's still going. Joybot 1 HP getting out. Best player, really low.
Appraisal's wrath. Best player, very low.
But he gets out barely.
Not able to get the finish. Look at basic.
They're cutting for the tower.
Once again, taking another tower consistently.
They're actually a Sea Halberd that can kind of counter Esme with the anti-heal.
And they're playing this extremely well. They've been having a hard time.
Oh, they're trying to chase him. He gets out barely.
Splitting up the map, finding the objectives right
See,
now.
TOB just likes playing with basic splitting a lot. They need to stop his splits. Either that or they need to wipe the other side so basic's forced to back off.
BTK has been forcing out the utility. They gotta force them to play their game.
They could win the 4v4 without basic. But if basic comes and destroys the back line, it's kind of doomed. Yato needs Winter Trunch and Issa needs Wind of Nature.
Again, they found the first one, and it looks like
then Arla is just looking for like sneaky picks in the back line.
Moba's the only one here in the pit currently showing on the map. But that's good for BTK.
He's also someone they need to watch out for, because the back line is what matters the most. Like, see, like, this is a really good spot for Arlot. They don't know he's there at all.
The Ohio brothers have been known, right? I feel like they've been so known for their macro overall.
Now he's gonna show himself.
On the map, Yato gonna drop the airstrike, but in comes Yureshi. Nobody has vision on him.
Now Yureshi's dead because of that.
Mega kill. Lord, very low. Zane also looking for a position. Blast comes down with the flicker.
Blast, it's not gonna matter. Zane wins the retry. Basic's 1 HP, he has to get out. Iso's gonna kill. Iso's gonna do a lot of damage here because Basic has to get out. Oh, Iso barely gets out actually.
In a rough spot, not able to find a kill though. Yato, the only one to
if they all live and get out here with the Lord, it's good for them.
Because their health bars are low, but they do secure the.
They need to get out. He's already half.
You know, these teams are scary, man. All those ultimates, all that clashing and damage going on.
That was like a coin flip retry right there.
Falls. So clearly these players knowing their limits almost to a pinpoint accuracy, knowing exactly what they can get.
Carry no flicker, kind of a bad thing, but they'll be able to get, right now. But they should be able to get to the outside towers.
A huge retry from
they should be able to. That should be almost guaranteed.
And maybe
there's those two outside towers here.
With the Lord.
Good old Mike. Coming through.
They just have to 5v5 and play together. Carlos getting some of it. Has no dash, gets out still. It's fine. They should all just be playing together with the Lord. You know, TOB doesn't have that insane of wave players, so they play and push with the Lord. They could get a few towers. Gonna charge now, going down.
The crash comes in, able to take that second tier tower.
T looking for an engage, it's not gonna matter though. He's a little low. Should try to get full HP first.
Moving backwards. BTK don't want to force it. They've gotten a little bit. They've taken a bit of the map, and they might be backing off. Feather Airstrike does come down, putting on a little bit of damage onto Hoon there. Best player versus Mobazane once again in the midst of this as the rest of TOB
getting all the outside towers. Probably no high grounds.
They're going to be able to take another tower and finally evening out the playing field.
All with the ult. Not going to matter much.
Well-played push from BTK.
Absolutely.
Alright, now it's just the late game macro.
Right? They lost it.
BTK have the 2K gold lead, not by much. Still something.
So it does.
It's still anyone's game. BTK has to play together and make sure they don't get any lurks. Like no one lurks on them, like Arlot.
Over the side of Ohio brothers. BTK, like you said, though, did have a great push there. That
was
huge, falling into the hands of Michael Myers. Them, like you called him, nice Mike, and I want to be like Mike if I was a jungler.
The fuck is he saying?
Zane, but he's doing a great job, right? He lost those early neutrals, but like we know, Zane, with the pressure on his back, pressure on his shoulders, when it comes down to crunch time, put it into the hands of MOBA Zane. That retreat.
Carry Lono gold lead? Yeah, I don't like the carry pick much either, just because it doesn't really do too much versus Faramis, his cold altar. If Faramis has a cold altar, I think the carry is a really good pick. If they can bait out the Faramis ult and Diggy ults, And they've been doing it really
so
well
known
with T,
for
just
their,
bursting the diggy.
pocket positioning. They're very
Joybod's
fly,
kind of useless.
roaming around the
He
map,
should save his second
maybe
skill to try to block Claude out.
positioning. The Ohio brothers recently in the past
Uh-oh.
few weeks
Yato
have
T.
been known for splitting around, but Yato T, feather airstrike comes
Wait,
down.
they fucked this up.
Is gonna get stunned up, and the
What are they doing?
response Deleted.
They weren't. They didn't know who to target there. They should have went. They should have went for Reshi because he's squishy as fuck. They went for basic, but it's like not great. Oh, wait, they're actually getting trades for it though.
Now they're gonna move on to Shark. A lot of damage.
Why'd they flicker though?
Time Journey comes out. Best
They
player
need to chill.
through.
Get out here. They got a pick and it's fine. Shark's 1 HP and had to flicker out to live.
Still up in the top side. Yureshi trying to delay them.
Iso's having a rough time here. Dies. That's not good.
Comes in. Iso comes out. This is bad for best. I mean, this is bad for the side of BTK. They're trying to go back to basic.
Farsa and T are going to be up here. I don't think they'll be able to end, but definitely not good bets here.
5 members of TOB up.
Kind of a throw from Yato and
what a bounce back
Bodge.
Trex TOB.
It should be those two working together. Wait, it wasn't Bodge, it was Iso and T. T should be the one sitting in the bush though. He doesn't have burst potential. It should be Yato. Yato and Iso, if anything. Because those two are the damage heroes.
Zane is still alive and on the board, and that means it's a 50-50.
Zane, he's in a really good spot here. He sees that it's not too low, but he's kind of alone.
Yeah, a lot is on the
They're all
line.
going on him. He's trying to delay as much as he can. They block his
Does a
ults.
lot of damage, especially on the Zane. Zane gonna get shredded down. Immortality pops.
All right, he's dead. They should just give this.
T, though, hiding out in this bush. Zane
All they have to
does
do is give
a
it.
little
Don't
bit of
contest
time
it.
here.
He might look for a steal, but I don't think he should.
Something here as well.
Carlos still has
Currently,
Retry.
Ohio brothers do control
Oh,
this
he has to
pit.
flick. He has to
Now
ult
gonna
out
come
here.
in. Falling Star Moon
Good
does
burst.
not connect. Feather airstrike, able to land something. The best player should be able to take this Lord. Now they're responding. Blazing
Yeah,
comes
Iso
out
trying to do something. It's not gonna matter.
And 4 members are gone on the side
Oh
of BTK.
nah! What a
Make it
throw!
5.
GG.
The upswing is over.
GG. That's a GG. They threw, bro. They threw so hard. What a throw! What the fuck? Why are they even fighting it before people?
Can they defend this push? Don't know if it's gonna be able to happen.
Nah, that's GG for sure.
Welcome to the Midwest Ohio brothers, stopping the path to power, Trex.
That is gonna be it. Zane knows it's over.
Very interesting
Recalls come
choices
out.
here.
The Ohio brothers take game 1.
Victory!
And what a
Dude, they threw
scary
so hard,
performance
like
from
the whole game.
Ohio, because Trex
They
and
were
Vinny
doing really good
for a second
at the
there,
start,
it really felt
but then
like BTK
Iso
had
got
a
solo
good
killed, which is
chance to
horrible.
run away with that
And
one,
then
but again,
they're not
with
playing
all that
5v5. They should be playing
experience
5v5s, but they're not.
they never let that
And then they're
game
not
feel
clearing
like they were
bushes
out
for
of their
Reshi.
hand.
If they
Maybe
clear
I
bushes
might
for
have got them a
Reshi,
little bit,
that would be
but they
really
knew
good.
exactly
Because
what
Reshi
they
can't do
were
shit if
doing.
he can't
They
flank.
turned that around quickly up against Mobile Zane.
Like Joybot should be clearing the whole jungle when he goes to check stuff. And especially those outer bushes, those matter the most. How did they even lose that lead? Throws, bro. They just threw. They threw so hard, so unimaginably hard.
We really knew it might have been crunch time the moment that Basic and Yureshi walked into that bush. They're supposed to get surprised, but the surprise got put onto Yato.
The worst thing about it is that they didn't even trade picks there. T and Yato.
I mean,
Yato missed his first skill. No, Yato hit his first skill, but he ulted basic, which was fucked up because he has to focus one. Like they should have just ran when that happened, but they didn't run. They tried. They really thought they could do something, but that was like the biggest mistake of their lives.
Professional players with that world experience, it takes a lot more than a bush play to shake them to the
Iso was kind of useless the whole game. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like the carry pick in the first place. I didn't like it at all. Versus Faramis, I think Melissa would have been better versus Faramis. I could see if he picked it to sort of counter Claude, but Claude's just not gonna go on you. It's as simple as that.
Able to keep them into the game. You can see here on the
And then Zane right here, Zane was greedy. He was so greedy here. He should have just gave it. I don't know what he was doing, trying to like contest that. That was kind of like an ego contest.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if Zane maybe should have tried to force that there.
Especially when he was down in numbers, that was dumb. Iso was doing good damage in the late game, but it was just already too late. And you're fighting down in numbers.
If they just would have waited it out, they didn't have a great position, and then he commits.
I would say it's not really anyone specifically. Okay, definitely Iso made the most mistakes in terms of like him dying early. Like if he just went even with basic, it would have been a lot better for them.
And you know, Trex, speaking of Yureshi, he did a
But
great
honestly,
job of kind of what we were
BTK
talking
did play a
about.
little too
I
much
pointed out
towards
that if he
EXP
was
side.
able to
If
get
there's no
that
turtles
backside
up, they shouldn't
front
have. I saw
foot,
Zane path
that
too much
team
towards
coordination, they
EXP.
had a great shot of winning. And honestly, Yureshi couldn't have played that R lot any better. I haven't really been a big fan of the R lot. It seemed to have come up short for a lot of
Zane too
teams, for a lot of
greedy?
players,
Yeah, it was
but
a little
Yureshi,
too greedy from him.
the NPL PH player from Next Play Evos over here in North America getting it done in the XP lane up against T.
Yeah, he's definitely just, I mean, he's been a star in this season so far. His
I would say
all-out
BTK's
plays, and then
synergy
also
is just
flexing
like
into other heroes.
they
He's picked up
choked.
the Hilda a few times.
That'd be the best way to put it.
He's
They
done a
choked.
lot of things, and honestly, I feel like with
They
his
choked when it mattered
experience,
most.
I'm sure he gives a lot of input. Some of those macro decisions, some of those things that we haven't seen a whole lot from NA, that right now the way TOB is playing, the types of plays they're making are definitely just a little bit elevated. And I like to think that maybe Yureshi has a small piece of that. Maybe bringing in.
If you guys haven't already, like the stream, please subscribe as well. All that good stuff.
And, you
Onto
know,
a
I really
game
feel like
2.
that's just a credit
Still
to
think
the
BTK
team
has a
as
chance,
whole.
but
yeah, Yureshi as well had a
let's
professional
see.
experience
Depends
on
how
the team,
strong
but
their
we also
mentals
gotta
are
realize
after
this
throwing that
whole
game.
team of Ohio is a roster full of experienced players. You got Shark, overseas experience, obviously one of the top roamers out here in NA. You got Hoon, a champion in 2 different games, but ain't going here, Trex. Game 2 draft on the way. Will we see some fixing responses in between these 2 teams? Will they be able to bounce back? BTK
What
is
the
on
fuck
the
is
back
this?
burner right now, 1-0.
Yo, production.
Oh, I mean, after watching the way the Ohio
Production, come on, man.
JG Gap NGL Zane
BTK,
should
though, as we
retire.
said, really were shining in the start of that game.
Don't get, not gonna lie,
just
Zane should
put pressure
retire.
on. Even T had a
He actually hit the
beautiful
retro
record
once,
against
but,
Esmeralda, and Esmeralda isn't like a super hot pick right now, but just played it so
Yeah, maybe.
perfectly. You know, but the question is can they keep that momentum throughout a whole game? Because again, I don't think it's exactly that they lost to draft or anything like that. What they lost to was just getting a little bit.
I need some water.
A little
Be
bit
right back.
outplayed
I'll
in a
move the
lot
camera
of
for you
that.
guys.
TOB were always kind of making.
Fanny
when we
Van,
get to the mid-game,
expected.
They're always one step ahead.
Absolutely, and I feel like this is one of those things that I used to harp on about a lot in between these top teams, right? In North America, like you said in clips before, it's very micro-intense. We're very great at team fights, right? Everyone can really clash pretty well, but it's about what you do after or before.
They're gonna ban
those fights that
Claude?
really matter. And I feel like
Claude would
against
be a good ban.
Ohio, when you're talking about these lineups, both of them have stars in all roles. But who's going to make the right decisions at the right time for the greater turnout? And I feel like with Ohio, with all this experience that they have on this team from different places, from different games, it just seems like their game plan is a little bit tighter. When you look at BTK, the only player that really has that is Moba Zane. Everyone else is just a little more inexperienced, I should say. Not so much as far as skill-wise, but when it comes to these advanced decision makers, they haven't really been exposed to too much outside of these typical clash tactics. And I feel like they just fallen behind after that. Because we saw in the team fights, they did great. They were leading in the game early on. When you're talking about the
Still
team
gotta
fights,
go?
when the map was getting opened
Yeah.
up by basic,
Kinda
what were
played
they
a
doing?
bit rough
Forcing
there.
fights in the jungle. Great at team fights. But
New
what
poll?
can we do after that?
All right, all right,
Can
all
we
right.
make this outcome get a little
End
bit
poll.
further with towers, with lords, turtles, all these objectives? They have to be a little bit more
Engage with
precise.
your
You
audience,
can't
start a
just slot
poll.
me up against Ohio.
Who
You know,
will
I think
win
it's
game
more to
2?
just the brains of Ohio. Like,
It'll
I
be
don't think it's exactly like BTK. Any of the players are playing bad. I think it comes back to just
Let's see,
Ohio
let's see.
brothers are just exposing their formation. Like even Yureshi coming around, they know that the way that BTK is going
Arsaban.
to approach this lord is they're going to group up as a 5-man. They're going to try to just come head into this. Yato's going to be in the backside. There's never really any question of that. And the Ohio brothers did their homework, and they're like, okay, you want to do that? We're going to consistently have basic come around the backside, take towers, or come around the backside and flank whoever's in the backline. You're going to have Yureshi do the same thing. And it's just, they are picking apart the way
Shit.
that BTK takes these fights, and they are just shredding it right there. And it just goes to show the way that that BTK is approaching every single objective, the whole
Let's
game,
see
in a
how
sense, the way they're
this
rotating around the map. The Ohio
goes.
brothers has their ticket right there in game 1. So I think if BTK wants to do something, they either need to play a lot better if they want to stay in that same type of formation, or they need to switch it up a little bit. The way
Lolita
they're moving around
banned.
the map, the way they're
Interesting.
taking these objectives, they have to find a different way.
I feel like
to
it'd be
go
better
at
if
this,
BTK
because
banned
Ohio brother has the
Claude
number
first
of that
3.
style.
Absolutely.
Because
And
other
I want
marksmans
to,
are a lot easier to catch, and
because
especially if they're not going to
even
focus
when
gold,
the
because it
board
doesn't
was
seem like they're
happening, right,
focusing
when
gold too
Ohio
much.
was taking up that one on the top side, during that whole
Because of
clash, Basic wasn't even there. He took the tier 2. And while we're seeing best player locked down,
Fuck
trying
me.
to take out ISO on that carry, what was Basic doing? Now he's on the high ground tower. He's taking it down. They were looking for the push there to open up that base. We're able to end it right there, but that's just one of those moments where it's like Ohio is doing more than one thing at a time, and it feels like BTK is so just laser focused on one type of objective, one type of idea here. They're not able to account for the flexibility that Ohio's bringing as far as
Valentina ban makes sense. College ban also makes
Real
sense.
quick, onto these bands. Something
Nothing too
I've done
spicy
with
here.
Forza and
Typical stuff.
Valentina
I'm more curious
Arcana.
about the
We're
picks.
digging deep into
Let's see the
this
picks.
mage pool, right? I'm wondering
The
if
picks
if
here,
I can
let's
take
see.
this Faramis here, and I think that's what the Ohio brothers are trying to kind of bait them. They're like, listen, you can go for the Fredrin, but then we get the Faramis again, you know? Or you go for the Faramis, best player steals Moba Zane's Fredrin. A lot of options overall on the board, right? But another important thing is, NA in general, man, we've been really like that mage pick, the Farza, the Valentina, just that like the mages in general. I don't know if it's just because we have a lot of great mage players or what, but it is very prioed for, very contested for overall on who's going to get the better mage pick here, how we're going to play that out. But it does look like instead they're going to go for the Joy here. So Faramy's still open, Fredrin's still open, Glue open in the offlane.
Joy. You're giving Joy. That's interesting.
Right now. The drafts, the bans have switched up a lot.
And, you know, I'm really liking that
wonder why.
from BTK because I'm right with you.
The CXP Joy has popped off quite a bit.
As far as that Faramis or Fredrin,
so maybe they just want to counter with Esme.
I like that they get a comfort into the hands of T, especially when you're talking about going up against Ureshi, who has been dubbed by a lot of players in NA to be one of the hardest matchups in XP outside of going against obviously Chicken. But Chicken's not here, so it's Ureshi that you have to fear now over in that side.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Putting that comfort into T,
at least he said it.
Especially a pick like Joy.
He said it, not me, chat.
Great shot playing in those side lanes.
I'm not there.
Most definitely, they are gonna still pick up this Faramis though. But I'm wondering, like, does Ureshi end up just picking up the Esmeralda here? It has done decently against the Joy, at least in the laning phase. Does he go back into this R-lot like he's been doing? Basically, though, not gonna go for the Claude here. He's gonna pick up the carry, and I think at this point BTK need to lock in the Claude. Does well against the Faramis. I think it's just a beautiful answer right now to just the Faramis in general and the types of compositions that the Ohio
kind of sussy piloting.
If they don't pick that up, it could be a huge loss for them.
Doesn't do with anything.
Last game when they didn't pick up their gold laner up first, Ohio brothers railed into that, and it put them in a spot of picking up the carry, which I'm not saying it's a bad hero, but it definitely wasn't the greatest against the Ohio brothers for that select match.
Absolutely, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of what they respond back with when you're looking at BTK, because I feel like there's some strong blocking on the side of Ohio.
Carry again. Okay, no, carry. No, POV is carry.
I feel like they just forced that.
See, BTK learned. Just pick. You should pick your other roles first three. They're not going to ban out Zane's junglers anymore. They don't care about Zane's junglers. Pick your other things first three. He should have realized that the first game. Not to go for the Fredrin. Just go for your goal lane to give him a strong matchup to where he doesn't just hard lose.
There's gonna be some bans.
So now they have their mid lane, they have their golden EXP. So now the only things that TOB can ban are roams and junglers. And there's only one roam that's banned right now, so they can't ban all of them. Last game, it was a really bad idea to pick like Fredrin when WAN. I think there's another. I don't remember. But their WAN was banned and they already had Claude, so they was gonna like force them on. You know, they have the opportunity to ban out more marksmen. By picking the things that they have the least of open, you're leaving a lot more. The roles that have the most picks open are what you should be leaving open and picking later.
Like you said, that's the only form of CC that
Franco, that makes sense. They're trying to do the Franco to lock down the Joy.
Not bothered by anything else.
They should ban
Joy. Franco is your best option right now with everything else that was left on the table.
Either ban Esme or take it. One of the two.
They're looking to close out the potential for BTK to swing back on their roam spot to pair it with.
I think they should ban it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's still,
they already have their tank. Arla, that's a good ban too. Arla's a good ban. I think Arla is maybe the best two bans, but they might just go Glue. Because Glue is still open.
Basic, Hoon, and someone else could be game changing. So we check off those boxes. BTK, on the other hand, gonna go, yeah, Lolita. That may be the next ban, honestly, and it would be a solid ban. Now, BTK focusing on Ureshi, because honestly, man, he's just been. He was trouble last game. And I like getting rid of the R-lot and probably continuing on that route.
I think that's a great.
Are you watching NC's besides this one? I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how interesting this series is. Maybe I'll just play ranked. We'll see. Don't know yet.
I will only tell because again, this is Ureshi. This is a professional player. May not shake him a little bit, but at least give T a little bit of upper hand. He's already kind of that uphill battle when you're talking about experience, you're talking about the gameplay. Obviously, as you saw last match, he didn't do a bad job around the Esmeralda, but just feel like Ureshi did a lot more with the R-lot out there on the board, especially in those team fights. So I feel like trying to set him up for a little bit more than 50-50, maybe a little more into that 60-40 territory, give him a great game, but there goes the glue into Ureshi's hand. That's a scary sight.
The thing is, pros in like MPL, they always clear the bushes that Ureshi's in. I just spit out food.
At this point, I'm just waiting, contemplating. Now, Ohio Brothers.
And BTK just doesn't have the experience to like counter that or no to check that. But like that would never work in like an MPL stage, that kind of bush camp. It would work sometimes, but people would realize it like right away. Like you show it once on stream, or you show it once on stage, and then they'll always check it from now on. Like BTK might check it now from now on, but I still doubt they would. Because like experience difference.
I don't think anymore. Joybaj gonna lock in this Grok though, so we have CC, we have Control. Once again,
they gave the blue.
Really like BTK's draft. They just need to.
Same with the Fredrin again.
That's right. I definitely think that Grok was a nice adjustment. Obviously, we were talking about Alita could have came out, but obviously some options.
Lance once more
to potentially disrupt that Numium Blast. But with this Grok, it's a great opening engage tool, but it's also really great for the disengage.
I feel like they should just ban Lance because he's just spamming it because it's so OP. Lance jungle is so OP.
So spontaneous. I feel like it fits.
Like he's obviously going to spam it because it's so good right now.
In your back line, you have Joy coming out from that side, maybe for those flanks. I think Grok is a lot more quick, if you want to say, is being able to react to setups than a Lolita charging up the Numium Blast. People can dash out the way, but now you have an instant set, right, with this Grok that can open up the fight for the real-world manipulation to drop down and really turn the fights upside down on Ohio. But again, this is Ohio Brothers. Is that going to be enough to take them down, as they do have that lead 1-0 right now?
Yeah, and Shark on this Franco.
We're gonna
be jumping into game 2. Match point for the Ohio Brothers up against BTK.
Match point.
Can BTK turn this around with a reverse sweep, or will they be stopped here?
And you know, Trex, after seeing game 1, I'm really hoping BTK can take this match so we can get that game 3, because these teams played at an exceptionally high level last match. Obviously, Ohio able to edge out in the long run and take game 1, but if we can get that 2 more games, Trex,
let's see how this goes.
I mean, of course,
camera going down.
Right here would be epic. No matter who it goes to, as long as it goes to game 3, I walk away from this series very happy. Now, keep your eyes.
Not had the lane pile, Joybaj, because the wall of Grok.
In the top side, one of those hooks land on a bad spot. It's just instant KO.
Franco really seeming like he might just camp this lane.
And we just know that threat is there. The Franco's really been showing his face.
They're getting control for the crab thing. Letho.
Absolutely, we're going to have to see who can open up this
Chicken calls in, give motivation speech for win.
Someone just donated for me to call in.
A little bit. They were able to get basic moving on.
We're actually a little low here.
To get him to focus on the other towers, even when those neutrals are being contested by the side of BTK. If they can get him moving again, get him grooving, that's going to be great. But if BTK can push
nothing
back
too spicy going on,
that would be extremely lovely to be able to get ISO in a nice position to take off. Because we do know if he can get a little bit of a head, especially with Beatrix, that tower spot can come in nice and early, especially after he picks up that Blade of Despair. If he can get rotating, joining in these team fights early, that could put them in a
Shane calls in, give motivation speech for a win. I think it was thank you for the dono.
He's doing a great job in that bot lane. I feel like he's really stepped up his game.
Let's see. How does TOB have a 400 gold lead already? 400 gold lead. 400 and 500 gold lead? Maybe because gold might be getting frozen. Or it looks like Zane missed a camp.
The Ohio Brothers, though,
probably got a camp stolen.
Right? They're not looking for any picks here. They like to kind of wait, especially against a team that they know.
Best player has like a much better EXP advantage compared to him.
Always has a pretty strong early phase sometimes. So
like, why are you like? He's just really just trying to force the coin flip. I don't know why he's trying to force the coin flip so much.
Going to try to contest it possibly. Best player Hoon and Yureshi taking the sides of this wall. Best player looking for a time to come in. Joybaj does not have that all yet. And best player able to take the first one. Yureshi in a bad spot though. Very low.
Top got dive.
Comes out, but he wasn't able to catch it. Forced to use the flicker.
It's so weird how they're playing.
Up in the top side though. This is what I meant.
I don't like how he's forcing the coin flip. Like it just seems like he's trying to ego the retry.
I mean, we've been getting on that a little bit. It seems like.
And then top lane just got fucked, and there's nothing top lane can do about it if he gets the force dive like that. Oh, it seems like.
Again, if they can get basic moving,
nothing he can do about it. Oh my god, what is going on with the stream?
Absolutely.
What the fuck?
We've been getting on that a little bit. It seems like
is this me?
Really is going to stay focused on committing to that gold lane. Because
hard to watch. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing by forcing the retry.
Comes into play. Now they can start.
Oh my god, the lag. This isn't me, right? Is this me? I don't think it's me. I think it's them. I don't think this is me.
There may be for those unanswered complete clashes, but hey,
nice
it's you.
Nice wall. Basic force.
sets, Ohio's going to have to keep their eye on him, or they're going to be in a world of trouble when these team fights break up, because that was such a crazy set from him. That would definitely be disastrous.
Pay your bills? I never had any issues until now. I don't have any issues.
Late games, it's early right now. A lot of scuffle going on in between the junglers and the bot side. We're going to go ahead and disengage there.
They should have it on 1080.
Right? Ohio has already secured that 1K lead so far. They were able to secure that first neutral, but Keelan will be secured.
Actually got bursted and died. Yeah, it's something.
One thing I will say, Zane and best player on this tanks a lot, doing so well. You think he's caught, he's just always able to get away. He gets in the midst of trouble, and he's just
really needs to just help.
Not able to catch him.
Definitely catch him. We did just see that corrosion side being locked in by basically
Iso, Shinake dived again.
So a nice core I'm locked in from him, so lock in. Teams engaging.
Shark with the flicker out. Fucking no matter. Ulted onto Yato. Yato's dead. Holy, what a hook.
Shark's such a threat.
I'm getting it back to the
hook. What a bloody hunt to go ahead and
catching
lock
it back
down
up.
the mid laner for the side of BTK. Putting Yato in an uncomfortable spot, and I tell you what, Trex, if they keep the pressure on him, that's going to be very disastrous to the side of BTK. Yato's going to be very critical to their team fight capabilities, as he's really the only controlling aspect in this game as best player picking up that turtle.
I mean, it's already almost a... it's a 2K gold lead, a little over 2K gold lead for the side of the Ohio brothers, right? And they still have Basic, who hasn't taken a death yet. They have the constant threat of the hooks. They have Ureshi, who isn't having the greatest...
See what's happening here.
Just fine. Taking a look at Bloodthirsty Kings, Yato, Iso, some of the major players who need to be able to output damage.
Let's go if he gets the prio.
It's not like it's Joybaj, it's not like it's Zane, it's not like it's T. Some of these pivotal players in the mid and late game are already a little behind.
Yeah, if you just help him clear and get out, that'd be good.
Trying to keep that lane froze on ISO. They're kind of forcing
if he can't freeze it,
to potentially
Franco
get
has
by
no business
Shark
being
here.
there.
Now it kind of makes sense what's been going on in that gold lane. But speaking of what's going on, best player. Forced back a bit. They're not going to get into a fight, but now Ureshi, knowing
he definitely has more power than Blue
in
terms of speed and everything. But Joybaj, what's going on here? How is he caught out? What the fuck? What the hell happened there? He has to give up top. I don't think he can defend it.
Walk right into a bloody hunt, and that's the thing about going against Franco. When you're an enemy roam,
Alright, he defends it. His Zane's there. He helps him out.
If you walk into the wrong bush, you're going down.
The thing is,
absolutely going.
They should have the mage top side. They're not going to get any kills with him down there. Or him helping top.
Heavy for Ohio, and I have to tell you,
it should be mage and tank top side. And jungle clearing mid.
The power spike for Beatrix would have been a lot
helping
stronger
to clear.
than carry, but since he's been ganked, since they've been finding kills, been in a lot
might
of
be dead here. Best player going in. Joybaj dying. Ureshi in a weird spot here. Bad flicker from Iso. Honestly, he didn't need to. He wasn't going to go in on that.
Could not connect.
Oh my, looking like a doomed game, chat.
Getaway scratches. Ice Queen Wand falling to the hands
looking like a doomed game here.
Good utility, but speaking of things also falling, top tower into the hands of Basic now.
See, Iso didn't have flicker there either.
No, not like this, guys.
If he hit Franco there once, he might have actually died.
Turtle back up on the map. This is looking bad for the side of BTK.
It's looking very bad for the side of BTK. Basic has found one tower, found another kill, and now looking for a tier 2. But Turtle happening with a fight on the top side.
Yeah, big fight on the top side, not able to see it because the Turtle is going down.
This is the red tree.
Roses come out.
He gets a solo kill on Basic. That's good. But Joybaj is dead. Big bomb, but it's not going to mean much.
Will get taken out from Hoon. The Appraiser's Wrath drops the damage. Just not there.
They get any pokes. They don't have the DPS to kill him. So I'm not sure anything's going to happen here. Reshi's going back.
Not enough force to try to run
Zane,
away.
he kind of needs to get out of here. He gets out.
Not able to connect. The Beer's passion comes out.
3-0 retreat gap? Yeah, it's just,
but they find a lot of
he's forcing these coin flips. I mean, right there, he was just trying to steal it, but he, other than that, he's just forcing the coin flips.
That 7-minute mark, 6-2 as far as kills. Not only are they leading in this game, but they're leading in this series 1-0.
Joybaj is kind of useless.
Have to find a way to
I don't like the Grok here. Who's gonna follow up with the Grok? You don't have a mage that follows up with it. You have Eve. That's not like a follow up on a set hero.
Inside of BTK, the pressure from Shark in that lane has been consistent from game 1.
Not sure if Cooper was open.
Putting
I think
ISO
it
on an
was.
uncomfortable spot, and I really feel like BTK should have gave a little bit more assistance to ISO. Speaking of pressure,
he fucked up his dash.
Look at these, gonna get pulled in.
Wow, that's sad.
Another great pick.
He fucked up the dash.
The Ohio brothers add that with a pick onto this tower. They're taking more ground. They're taking more things on.
They're trying to clear mid before they try and get it,
which
is smart.
Nobody's safe from the brothers right now.
There's no way they get
this.
this.
There's no way Yato can really defend this. They're gonna pop that high ground tower past.
Just chunk. It's kind of waste of time though.
Over the 8-minute mark.
Fresh has a flicker out to live.
Look for more.
You know,
Joybaj did ult there. Zane,
defending, he's scared to bring
this is a little greedy.
He's got to be scared to bring
they're not
up
getting
that
there in time anyway.
Because the hook.
Oh yeah.
Like even when he's solo.
Carl's
like
rather clear his blue than go and test that.
because I'm
He did
by
take their
myself,
red, so I guess
and if
it's just
I
a
pop
trade,
my
not
road
red.
manipulation, I'm getting pulled in once again. I'm going down.
Definitely are going down. Speaking of things going down, best player out some space over at BTK. Be able to try to maybe pick up this tower. They are so heavily focused on these objectives. While they do have quite a bit of kills, just look at the lead. They're already 3-1.
Trying to CC him. He gets out. It's fine.
As far as neutrals, they picked up every
They ain't trying to have turtle
that
pile.
has
They're
been
so
spawned
they're obviously bot
on
side.
the map. 3 of them going to the hands of best player, and that's what I'm kind of been getting at. That it just feels like they are just worlds ahead, just picking up ahead.
Taking a lot of damage.
Come on! Oh my God! What was that?
It's a big whip. In comes Joy
What was
Box. Big
that?
loud charge, but the Colt Alter.
Why is I so flickering on that?
Response. Basic wants more. He's
Yikes!
hungry. Gets the triple. That's rough.
What the fuck was that? What the actual fuck?
The Ohio brothers don't even need the Lord right now. They're taking
It's pretty
towers.
tanky.
Zane gonna get grabbed.
Reshi in a bad spot.
Slam, but Yureshi still under
He
the
got
tower.
knocked
Takes a
out,
couple
though.
shots. Zane pulled in. 2 forces. This
And
is
he's
bad. Zane goes down. The Ohio
Seems like a
brothers
big
taking
old
huge
GG.
lead at 6,000 at 10 minutes in.
That was quite the take right there.
The side lane pushes, man. They don't respect it.
Lord and more.
T might die.
Go
Oh,
ahead
never
and
mind.
take out BTK. T almost got dropped down there from that magic worship passive, but right now we saw Basic come alive right there. A triple kill from him on the bot side. Fight Mr. Infamous, Mr. Hollywood, the man
That could have been really good bot if if they waited for Joybodge to come by so they could flicker ult. That would have been really good if they did that. But they're just not synchronized.
And I have to tell you, my heart's breaking right now from what I'm seeing on the screen. But I feel like it goes right back to what we were talking about. BTK not putting a lot of help and ISO's 0.
They're actually getting out of there a little bit low.
The fight is about to unfold potentially.
Yeah, we
Pause. We disconnected.
In from the side of BTK.
Someone disconnected here.
For the Ohio brothers, they stopped.
And I don't know who it is, but someone did.
We don't want any excuses for this one here. They hold it off. We're jumping into a pause. Now, you said it again. BTK having a few issues, or is it the Ohio brothers are just this good right now? We mentioned them possibly being in the god tier of NA, and honestly, if they take this 2-0, I just don't think anyone's messing with them. I'm getting to that point. It's hard to stomach that. I want to see someone take them down, because as I said, it's just no fun watching one team stomp everybody. But like, man, they're just
Telling his team for a meeting? Yeah, they're having a meeting right now, a timeout.
And nobody has been able to really compete against them.
That's right. And I mean, if BTK loses this weekend, really all we have to look forward to is maybe next weekend when Ackerman matches up against them, maybe, potentially, be able to take down Ohio. But a little less on that. We're focused on this weekend, and if Zane and them can bounce back with this pause that has been put into play, maybe a little bit of time to recollect and get their thoughts in order. And I have to tell you, Trex, I feel like that's what it came down to. The thoughts haven't been right from the side of BTK, doing a lot of thinking, but not coming up with the right conclusions. And it seems Ohio has made every right decision, every right call you can make.
You got ulted. Did you get out? Yeah, he barely gets out. So no ult from Franco. Pretty good.
Safely, but they still lose the tower. Lord now marching down the bottom side.
They are down by 8K though.
Claim their presence on this map. They want to try to take a couple towers here. Best player is taking a little bit of damage. Lord onto MOBA Zane. The rest of TOB.
No high grounds are gonna go down here. I don't think. TOB doesn't have like a hard dive pump, except for Lance. Lance and I guess Lance and Farmers about it. But Franco's not really a dive hero. Neither is Carry.
Looking for a hook. You can see him waiting for it. Snipe shot misses. Hoon looking for a pull. Not able to connect onto anybody with the Shadow Stampede. Yureshi onto the backside.
Yo, Iso's dashes are so weird.
Not scared of the world as Basic pushes away onto this tower. Joybox, the big miss, goes too deep and goes down.
What the fuck was that?
Big hook, not able to connect onto Yato. He's got the road
T didn't retreat, not actually. He didn't vengeance early enough.
Two members of BTK down, and the Ohio brothers take
man, oh man, Joybodge.
once again.
That
could have actually been good from Joybodge. I saw the vision, but
now Ohio can close this out.
Not from the way he did it though.
Best player very deep, gonna get taunted up, take a couple tower shots to the face. Now Hoon and Basic also want to try to engage. They lost their wave of minions. They're gonna have to back off here, but still
10K gold deficit.
Controlling the game with a 10,000 gold lead.
And this is a hard deficit to overcome from the side of BTK. They already didn't really have the threat
He doesn't have
for the
retro.
late game besides maybe Yasuo on this Eve to kind of lead them in team fights. But when you're looking over at Ohio, they have Hoon with the Ferams to extend those team fights in their favors. You have Shark to maybe get those late
ESO
game
a little
pickoffs,
bit of a
especially when you're up
slacker,
against
but
Joybaz.
to be
They don't
fair,
have
it's like
the
he's getting
largest
1v2'd a lot.
potential, obviously,
And then
Shark
BTA
can
is just
get it done,
forcing
but he's definitely a lot
turtles to
stronger
coin
in
flip.
the pickoff, but it seems like Shark has been doing a lot better of a job. He's 12 assists out of the 13 kills for Ohio. So needless to say, he's been a critical component for all their plays. You can see they're setting up behind him right now to go for another. But when you're talking about that for the late game, it's extremely difficult.
You should
for
hold
BTK.
that, not
They're
shove it
down,
out.
like you said, 10k gold with an insurmountable lead here inside of BTK.
They really
only
should
down
just give
to
this.
2 high ground towers with the Lord obviously potentially going to the heavy favor of Ohio. It might be impossible for them to defend later on if they can't steal this. But it looks like they're going to make the Hail
He's way
Mary
too
come off
behind to
potentially
do
with
anything
the
about it.
defense.
Most definitely now, Lord going very, very low, and BTK not able to contest at all. We are seeing
He's retroing way too late. I'm not retroing. He's vengeancing way too late when he dies. He needs the vengeance right away, because in case Franco ults him.
For that, Shark with another hook. Down goes Joybaz, and down
Well, there goes the
could
set
go
potential.
BTK. The Ohio brothers.
I guess it's just
moving
Yato
in,
now,
looking for
in
the
terms of
finish.
setting.
Lord ain't even
Boone
here
still has
yet.
cold
See him on
alter
top
for the
side,
dive.
trying to get a
Not good for
possible
them.
steal here, looking to make the play of his lifetime.
Joy
But
trying to split a
the
bit,
Ohio
but needs to
brothers
back out.
don't care. They think they can beat the base race. They think they can take the advantage.
That tower's not
Tower
going down.
About to go down, very low, basic.
Now they can
Able to get
defend
a
the wall
couple
without worrying
shots
on mid,
off
which is
board.
good. Just
Still
one wave.
down.
And top lane
Shark,
shoving pretty
best
hard.
player looking for conceal play, trying to get the hot, trying to get the lock
A little
on.
bit of an early
Best player
cold
punches
alter.
through into
Still
the
getting pulled out.
backside.
Going to the
Nice
4-man
ult,
ult, but it's not going to matter much. Good evil
able
from
to get away with
Yato
the
and zone them
slight.
out here.
Lord is still up. Mobazane hold the front side. Real manipulation still
Joybaz
up.
just
Shark
got
finally
suppressed and
able to
ulted.
with the bloody hunted down. Goes Joybaz once again.
It was a good
The
stall,
Lord
I
does
think.
fall though, and BTK able to
It was actually a good ult from
defend
Joybaz.
this. TOB backing
Because
off.
it stalled the cold alter. They could still lose here, but
apart BTK, and they're not going to let
definitely
go
in a better spot.
Looks like they're going for the
Okay.
It's that high ground, and they
Mid lane, no wave. Reshi tried doing something, fucked up.
Reshi is flickering in. Best player in TOB along with basically
No wave
Fox will
here.
look for something. Minions
Miss hook.
are low. Hook does not connect. A little bit too far to the right. Another wave is coming.
How do you miss
Snipe
that?
shot misses. ISO has not been able to land those very
lagging?
much this game. It's becoming a bit of a problem. Could have been the possible defense. Wall does come out from Joybaz. Reshi looking around the wall. Shark misses on the hook again. Another wave of minions coming soon.
Joy's useless.
as TOB hold down the front line.
Not in
Finally, a wave
particular,
inside
he's just
of
having a rough
BTK
time.
So they can possibly defend this. Joybaz with a nice wild charge. Able to lock on to best player, but he's still
ISO,
up.
1 HP,
Roses comes
dies
out,
the best
puncher to the
player,
backside,
gets
able to
taunted.
find ISO. And now
Oh, wait.
T looking
Just
for
two
best
dead?
player, finds
No,
him,
just
left
one.
behind, beats drop, but he's not
CC
able to
cancelled.
find any more than that. Shark
Zane couldn't get the
able to
bonk
hook.
off.
Boba Zane goes down basically with the speedy light.
Joy still has vengeance
Very
here.
Well
He might look for
played.
something.
Reshi gonna lock on to base and more
He's
time.
vengeancing
Top
way
Shark
too
and
late.
Basic trying to
GG.
get the finish, but not quite able to. Minions
If Joy
are
vengeance
here, though.
earlier there,
Base
he would have killed
down to
Basic.
50%.
But this guy, he pulled it for too long.
Looking low. Can Joybaz defend it all? He can. That's it. A clean sweep. The Ohio brothers
2-0.
stay dominant and reign as gods in the NACT.
I don't know why.
And the revenge
There's like a lot of things I
tour
saw
is
wrong
gonna
with
come to
BTK.
a unfortunate end
A lot of things.
as Ohio put away
Zane
all
forcing a red tree
doubts.
coin flip.
An end to the drama meta.
It's just an
end to
ego
this
thing to
series.
do.
2-0 sweep up
Um,
against Mobazane and company.
they started giving Lords in the
For
second
once,
game.
I
The first game
can't
they didn't
lie,
really
I am a
they want to
little
give
bit sad
anything.
about the outcome of the series.
Joybaz, he's always late to the rotation top side. And so is Yato.
But at this point,
He's the only one who's like he's doing his best. He's doing all right. Not much more he can do.
They are something to put on
I would say it's more the rest of the team. ESO,
its
his mechanics just have to improve. The mechanics are a little
All
lacking.
these teams from the side
He
of
should've
Ohio,
went-
all the players.
He should've went
just
DHS,
amazing.
honestly, not the Hunter
5-0
Strike.
on the
I guess it was the
fronts,
DHS next, but I feel like
with all the
BOD to
macro
Malefic into
decisions,
DHS
even
probably would've been
keeping
better.
crispy KDA 9-1-6. Great
Say fuck the
itemization
Hunter.
as well. We saw him with that
Especially
T
versus how
Albert
tanky
at
they
that
are.
Last push took down Zane like he was nothing more than a mannequin. It looked like he didn't even have a chance of fighting.
Draft. They did better draft
Shredded
second
him
game, but they
down
really fucked up
sharp
gameplay wise.
Off the diggy and now on something a little bit
First
more
game,
aggressive. 1-0,
their draft
1-0-16
would
on that
have been
Franco.
better.
Saw the hook, saw the bloody hunts out there on Joybaz later on, taking out the roam for the side
And,
of BTK. And what a match!
yeah.
What a series from Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw it here, and there was just a few mistakes
Rough
consistently.
mistakes. At least Joy Bosch got a kill and assist.
Backside, Joy Bosch, he does get some plays to happen, able to put out some nice walls, but in the end, BTK just never able to make those.
Damn, bonk didn't go off. It looked like it went off. I guess it's like literally a millisecond from going off. Right here, if T Vengeance like right now and went in, Basic would have died. Look how much damage he took after he Vengeance. But for like he did it earlier too, where he held on to his Vengeance for way too long. He waits until he autos him. He should be Vengeancing before he autos him.
And you know, Trex, a lot of those things just didn't.
Yeah, that's like really weird.
As we saw them be able to close out.
I guess it's something he has to learn. It's Joy.
From game 1 to game 2, seems like
Joy first when they Farmers open. Joy first looks good. It's just that they didn't use it right.
Ooh, the first match was exciting to see. I love the back and forth.
BTK, they're still in the tournament. They're probably still gonna make it to the top 4.
Brothers for taking that
top
win.
2 even.
But you guys, what do you
overall,
guys think the MVP?
I am a bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. They was talking a lot of hype for them to make like.
Joy Boy got a kill and an assist.
A lot of mistakes.
Just being able to see him go from
what was the donation? At least Joy Boy got a kill and an assist. Yeah, funny.
Everything over the map, had an amazing game, and then you go into game 2 where he plays something a bit more frontal objective.
You know much better than ISO? You know lags. He could be better mechanically, but he lags too much because he's in Canada.
Looks like he is going to be the MVP.
Canada internet sucks.
Undeniably, he was basically the best player out there in this series. Like you said, from the macro, from the lane awareness, keeping control. He was kind of doing a little bit of janitor work, but still getting it done in those fights as well, cleaning up the members of BTK and those minions to lead Ohio to a victory.
Thank you for that. That was a great series, guys. Next up, we got Fallout versus Ackerman. You won't want to miss it because our number 2 team, Ackerman, and
you know lagging better than ISO, Lamau?
Check out the Ohio Brothers.
I don't know.
But make sure you come back and witness
I don't know, man. You can say a lot of things. I would say it's mostly like late game decisions. The second game was definitely not late game decisions. The second game was just doomed because Iso got tower dive by Franco and Zane missed the retry because he just egoed it instead of trying to like. I don't know. He's always the first one trying to start turtle, and starting turtle is fine, but he shouldn't be trying to like burst it, you know. Or just like not starting it at all and not wasting your time and spend more time farming, because Lance is farming so much faster than him. Or just learn Lance jungle, that could work too. learn Lance jungle. Why does it still show the Jujutsu Kaisen event when it's already over? I don't understand why it shows it still. Three minutes. Do I watch the next series, chat? Do I watch these next series? Do I even care? And in production, Lamau. Just watch it. If I can RG, I'll RG. I'm trying to get people in RG right now. I'm trying to like find people. Oh, it's not showing my screen. If I can find people in RG, I'll play RG. Until then, we'll watch. I'm looking for an RG. Good night. Good night. I'm looking for RG, but in the meantime, I'm gonna watch. Wait. Watch Fallout lose. I know the Ghosty fans want to watch Fallout lose. You know what I want? I want you guys to like the stream and subscribe if you're not already. I would like that. I would appreciate that very much. Alright, I'll end the poll now. BTK number 3? It's not over yet. There's still like a whole month of games to go, I'm pretty sure. Or like 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks. I think there's still like another 2 weekends of matches, chat. And then it's gonna go into like the knockout stage. I think it's another week, 3 weekends, 3-4 weekends. So almost a month. Rank with Zane? I doubt Zane wants to rank after that. Apple playing. It's Ackerman versus Fallout. So that's Gosu, or not Gosu, X Gosu, I guess I should say. Versus Ackerman, or which is Apple. I already forgot their whole lineup. I just remember Apple Zia, Tonak, Galaxy, right? Pretty sure Galaxy. Why are you not playing? Because I'm going into a tryout for teams. That's why I'm not playing. Who's the Grok in NA? Lily fan or Joy Bodge? Oh my god. Lily fangirl or Joy Bodge? Who's the best? That's fucking hilarious.
Taking a quick recap
Are they gonna
of the
play?
match from before. Ohio Brothers take a dominating sweep against BTK. Now, BTK.
There's no one playing ranked, chat. I think I'm just gonna watch. I'll probably watch the series, then I'll end. Or I'll probably just watch this series. I want nothing after that.
Saw a bit of a
Just because like Ackerman's also, I think Ackerman's like in second place now, second or third. A77 is the one slacking, but the top three is just Ackerman, BTK, and TOB. I'll say Simpson. TOB, Ackerman, and BTK.
Objectives
so I'll watch
Ackerman
Ackerman.
over to that crystal base. And then I feel like after that game one,
It's not gonna be who Faramus?
happened in game two, but this time BTK had no
I don't think it's the Faramus,
answers.
bro.
In game one, they were
It's
able
just
to force
the
a lot
tank
of
macro
on the
to
front end
to gold lane. The mid macro to gold lane's a bit lacking, and then
but in game two, it seems
the
like
turtle fights are also lacking, and they're just coin flipping retry.
As you can see right
It's just a coin flip back and forth.
Not Lily fangirl or Joy Boy.
They were not
Oh,
able
there, I
to
went through.
include in those fights to be able to match up against
All he's doing is just coin flipping over and over and over. Giovanni, thank you for the super chat, bro. I don't know what currency that is. DOP. What is this music? So now BTK is what, 11-6. What is this music, dude? I don't know either. I'm very confused about this music. Very, very strange. I'm just gonna start 30 seconds. FwydChickn, thanks, bro. Good night. Good night. Good night. All right, everyone just thinks Ackerman. It's pretty boring seeing everyone. Every game is just like the coaches or coach. What am I saying? Coaches. They wish they were coaches. The casters just doing 100-0.
Fun match to watch and see what they can bring to the table. Before we get started, here are our predictions for this next match. What do you think, guys?
Sheesh. Sheesh. Nothing but Ackerman. And not only is it nothing but Ackerman, but it is all 2-0's Deku, except for Steph Wheezy over there. I like.
So the first game without how many gank though? True.
but definitely a lot of money on Ackerman here.
And, you know, I feel like from Wheezy, it might have been a little bit more of a courtesy call. I really do feel like this is going to be a sweep up against Fallout. I mean, if things remain as they have been progressing through the regular season, Fallout has not really been on an upwards trajectory, and Ackerman has definitely been ascending and kind of breaking a bit of expectations that they are sitting comfortably in second place.
Super exciting. I'm excited to see this because watching Ackerman's gameplay with the way that Nicolette plays Mage, it's very exciting to see since I play Mage as well. What do you guys think of her plays and also Push?
Yeah, I mean, Nicolette's been a monster, right? Like Nicolette, funny story. Last week when Hoon finally took some deaths against the Wasians, Nicolette actually took the #1 spot in KDA for the longest time. Hoon was like the #1 mage with KDA. Nicolette actually jumped into that KDA position last week, and even before that, she was top. And if you look at like everyone's KDA over the whole league, it's like 4 Ohio Brothers players, and then it's Nicolette. So she's definitely a top competitor in this whole event.
You blocking the view? Haha, very funny.
You know, speaking of Nicolette, I'm actually wondering if Fallout. I feel like that's the only way you really have a shot up against Ackerman. If you're able to throw Nicolette off a little bit, you're always going to have to worry about Kush over there in the jungle. But I feel like if you can at least make Nicolette struggle a little bit in the early game, kind of slow down that scaling, slow down her potential, you have a much better shot. But it's extremely hard to take her down, as we've seen from the standings as far as KDA with players in general, not just mages. She's extremely hard to kill. It's not an easy task to just throw Nicolette off.
If we're going to Asia, we should maybe part of TBTA. I don't know. I don't really care either.
To be reckoned with. But all right, enough of that, guys. Enough of the wait. We're gonna jump right in to this.
You watch us gonna RG? I want to RG.
Let's go, casters.
But I don't have anyone to play with, so I'm watching this.
You're doing great, Xena. Thank you. It's draft one, series 2 of the night. Ackerman up against Fallout Deku. Now, we've seen a lot of spice coming from
Gosu versus Ackerman.
Picking up the Lu Yi, picks like that happening.
Oh, my allergies are kicking in right now. My eyes are so itchy.
Like we've already been talking
Either
about
that or it's like.
But you mentioned a great point.
I don't know.
You put some pressure on Nicolette. You put some pressure on Toinks, and it's kind of the same thing for your Ohio Brothers. It's just much harder to do, I think. You put some pressure on that roam and that mid, and you slow down the pace of the team. That is going to be a big answer for Fallout here.
Absolutely, but again, it depends on if they can come up with that answer. Because, like we said, I'm sure everyone has kind of came to that same conclusion as we have up here at the desk. But who has actually made that transpire into the matches? It hasn't happened a lot. The KDA has been relatively untouched and unbothered. She's sitting at the top of the rankings for a reason. And Fallout, unfortunately, if I did have to bank on a team to make it happen, it's not really them. But we are going to be able to see anything can happen, especially now that we went off into that second leg of the season, Trex. This is the chance to see if these teams have been able to correct some of those mistakes. If they're able to turn it around now in the second half. First leg, obviously, was not the greatest for Team Fallout, but now we're going to be able to see if they can turn that around up against Ackerman.
Yeah, I mean, it's do or die at this point. In the very beginning of the season, we talk about, okay, you can take a loss here. There's plenty of time to make it up, right? Now we're halfway through.
That guy's lips is so big. Jesus Christ.
Games, you start losing them hard. You start taking sweeps.
All right, Ackerman, Arlod, Farsa, Fallout, Joy, Wan.
Your opportunity to contest for playoffs. So Fallout need to try to at least take a game here. That way, if they do end up tied with somebody, they can maybe beat them with the amount of games, or whatever. But maybe, just maybe, like Fallout's still very hit or miss for me. Sometimes I feel like they play amazing, and I wouldn't always count them out. Like if I flip a coin,
G1 Brawl, the game's already started.
They have some opportunity there. Ackerman though is like monsters. So can Fallout pull it off? Anna and Kush, I think both kind of similar. They both have some assassin possibilities. Anna's been really favoring the Ling and has done a great job on it, but the rest of the team needs to be able to keep up here.
Right, and I feel like they kind of relied on Anna a lot, right, in that jungle. Not able to pick up a lot of wins, but the close games have been with Anna being on point. But this match, you're going up against Kush, right? Kush Abusa, as Private Dancer has dubbed him, rightfully so. So you're not just going to have this automatic maybe control in the jungle. It's not going to happen that way, especially with Nicolette supporting him. And then again, can't forget about Toinks there on that roam. It's going to take more.
DK eliminated? Chad, there is no elimination yet.
To be
The elimination is the bottom four. This is like a group stage, like MPL format thing. So the top four posts, the top four teams,
than just stepping up, right? You got to outplay.
they stay in. The bottom four get knocked out.
That's no easy task. They're sitting at second.
And the top four teams just knock out. Similar to how MPL is in the knockout stage now. There's still another like 3 weeks. Pretty sure 3 weeks of matches. And then it'll be over.
It's a playoff
But at this point, I mean, it's definitely a playoff run for sure. They're looking for it. Fallout trying to contest Area 77 for the number 4 spot, right? Now, we saw the Farza ban from Ackerman, which I think overall, Fallout probably should have banned the Valentina in return, right? Like, oh man, they're banning out Farza.
Yeah.
It's one of the top contended for heroes.
They gave Valentina. That's interesting.
Right?
Valentina's pretty damn strong.
So Ackerman, I think, go through that initial banning phase flawlessly.
You know, it's really interesting because Ackerman goes for that Valentina quite a bit into Nicolette's hand. And something Fallout likes to take is Kaja, right? And put that into the hands of Mello. But with Valentina being locked in, it's going to be very hard for them to take that. Last night, they took Kaja first pick on blue side. They took it in the first 2 picks on the red side as well. Right now, they're on the red side. But again, like I said, with Valentina out there with the IMU, now you have to think a little harder about what kind of utility you want to put out there to make available to her. And especially when you're talking about Nicolette, giving a free Kaja ult is scary, but they're going to do it anyways. They're going to commit to what they've been using.
I feel like you kind of have to sometimes. Like, the Valentina's scary, but
Check Joy Botch community post.
I heard about it, how he's lagging. And that's because Joy Botch is also in Canada. Canada people are just going to lag when they play in the arena server. There's nothing you can do about it. He's always going to lag.
So I like it. They're not showing too much fear. I think from here on, though, they do have to watch out a little bit, right? Like, we don't want to give too much over, but it's definitely going to be a bait. Like, who's going to pop it first? Who's going to pop it correctly onto the right hero? I think the big goal for Fallout might be to try to use that casual onto Nicolette, right? Try to take out the Valentina so there is no correct response. But Kush, going to lock in the tanks a lot. This hero, I mean, after watching Best Player play it earlier today, it's starting to take almost that position of like one of the best picks you can put in the jungle right now.
That's right, but we're going to have an assassin matchup here, Trex. We got the Hayabusa facing off against the tanks a lot. And you know what? I really still have to give that over to the favor of Ackerman as far as the jungle because it's a tanks a lot. We're not going to see a tank Busa here, hopefully. So you still kind of lose out when you're talking about trying to hover around those pits, especially late game where everyone's grouped up and clustered up. It's going to be a lot harder for Anna here to be able to sit around as opposed to push with the tanks a lot. But I do have to say, the side of Fallout does have potential maybe to pick them off. They have the glue, they have the Kaja. Those are 2 very strong pick-off capable characters to be able to deal with them. But I will have to say it may not lead so much, though, is the problem, since he is playing the tanks a lot. And then even if you're talking about going for Melissa with the go away, it's going to be hard to get on top of her.
Let's see how this goes. Glue, Kaja, Haya. Anna is a assassin spammer, so that makes sense. Push with the tank lance.
Nicolette, the one with one of the highest KDAs. Not too often you catch her out of position, so none of these are really looking that great for Kaja and Glue to get on top of.
Definitely not easy targets, and Ackerman's cover their bases with that. I would be on board with Anna going tank build here. You know, breaking down barriers, one jungler at a time. I'm just kidding. No. Just kidding. But I like, now we're going to see the Kadita ban from the side of Ackerman. Fallout will get the first pick up here. They need a gold laner. They need a mage. Eve's still open. Could be a possible answer, but now you're giving over even more possibilities for Nicolette to use. So maybe something simple, maybe something like the Lilia, still give black shoes. I'm trying to think of what could be possible here.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad option, right? Especially when you're talking about dealing with that the lane with Valentina. I feel like Lilia is a very nice option to keep up with the early pressure that Valentina can put out. And like you said, the black boots, yeah, it could be okay for Nicolette, but I don't really think Nicolette would go for it. How many times have you seen Nicolette in a position where it'd be like, oh, she had Lily with black boots, she wouldn't have died? Not too much, because she rarely ever does die.
Didn't we see her like pull out like a decimation?
Sorry, chat. I'm talking to someone right now while the draft is going.
So hey, man, you never.
I'm going to the bathroom really quick, so I'll come back when the game starts. Give me a sec.
You know, that's a little bit scary as well to pick that up, because that's again more utility to the hands of Nicolette. But I guess maybe they're trying to overload her. We know that's one of the strats as well up against Valentina, kind of bring a couple ultimates and make her forced to choose which one she wants to go for. But you know, it's Nicolette, and I definitely would trust her judgment on whatever she pulls up. I feel like you're just giving a buffet over to her to get very creative. Like you said, we've seen pull out things like with the Martis, with the Decimation. I feel like Valentina's only contained by the imagination and creativity by the user. Nicolette is up there when it comes to being able to express herself creatively.
Definitely. I mean, and but it's also a great point. Like Nicolette really does. Like even when she picks up Low Yi, like her mindset, like I think just her game IQ overall in game is very high. But Guapsi, is this a first time pick? Is this a first time pick right
Yes,
here?
it is.
First time pick up against the Melissa. I feel like there's a lot of range. Very low range for Guapsi. I'm excited to see how it does. I'm excited to see how it does.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like I do like those kind of off the wagon picks just because it's interesting, right? It keeps things fresh. It's reminiscent of watching when we saw the Hanabi get picked up for the first time by Wasians. As we also know, it hasn't been a great recipe for wins. But I do have to say, it could throw them off. I mean, like you said, there is the range. There's kiting position from Kimmy. I don't necessarily feel like Melissa has anything to kind of stop anything Kimmy wants to go for, especially with the range. Like, it's not like the go away really stops anything Kimmy's going for. But speaking of stopping things, stop the run. Game one, Trex underway between Ackerman and Fallout. And we're going to see the Fallout can fall back into good standing, not only us, but the viewers and on these leaderboards.
You know, there was a day and time when Kimmy was a very good pick. There was a day and time when Kimmy was, you know, you put her in the jungle, build her mage, build her damage, do all types of things with her. Wapsi trying to bring that back here. It's interesting. There's some possibilities. I think with the build that, you know, with the composition that Fallout has, with this real manipulation.
Shit, they're in game already. Fuck.
It's very
Alright, I had to take a shit, my bad.
Trying to really work around the real manipulation.
Kimmy for Fallout? What the fuck? Like, why? They have enough magic damage. Why go Kimmy? Is it because Melissa? Kimmy actually outranges Melissa a bit, so I can see maybe that's why they did it. They're trying to think it's like a Melissa counter pick or something.
Kind of immobile in a sense.
And you know, this is kind of interesting to see. I'm gonna try to make sense a little bit more while we have this.
Maybe that's why.
I feel like there's a good chance they're able to make it work. There's not necessarily too much pressure when you're talking about backline. I mean, there's Galaxy and Kush, but we know Kush is going to be running the tanks a lot, which obviously is going to lack a little more damage. Not to where it can't kill, but obviously a slower time to kill than a standard damage range. Galaxy can easily be kited. He has Sprint, and we know Sprint can immune the slowing, but Guapizi also has Sprint, right? So he can just proc it at the same time and still keep that cat and mouse game going on. And once that's kind of negated, I feel like there's still a good chance for this Kimmy, for Guapizi to work with this Kimmy on maybe like the re-engage, maybe turn around and start slowing them down with that Ice Clean wand when they're trying to run away. But it's going to be hard to make it work. There's a window for it, right? Some possibilities for it to come through, but it's definitely going to come down to if they can make that happen.
Yeah, look at the pressure that they put onto the gold lane there. I think Mello may want to hang out up there, but Turtle is up. Kush gonna dance through, puncture around a little bit. Anna waiting for the possible quad shadow. Try to come in. Mello does have level 4. Galaxy drops the
ooh, flicker all getting Uzi. I'm gonna do much.
Down goes
Free turtle
Uzi,
for
first
Kush
blood, and
on Ackerman's side. About a 1K gold lead. I'm really curious about how Kimmy's gonna do.
The man starting to become the master of assassin out here in NA finds the turtle and the kill as well, facilitated by Twinks on that little lead, like you said, with that Numian blast and the flicker combination. A great setup for him, a great setup for Ackerman, as they now have a 1-0 advantage and a 1K gold lead already, Tricks, as we're underneath that 3-minute mark.
I mean, Guapsi is able to kind of handle this, but I think Mello, man, I don't know. I think Fallout maybe needs to try to get the advantage in that gold lane. Maybe give up a turtle here or there. Kush gonna come in, try to steal that purple buff.
Interesting.
Not quite able to, but still the harassment, the map control is there for Ackerman.
Definitely, and we're gonna have to see, like we said, if Fallout can have answers. Ooh,
oh,
blast.
There's some answers.
And he lives. Ooh.
Mello,
oh, a turnaround. Galaxy wastes his sprint. Low. Gets out though. Oh, high might go for the cleanup, and he's dead.
Away, and comes Anna though, finds Galaxy.
Give me ult connect. Something that hardly happens.
Big ult from the side of Guapsi there, able to do a little bit of damage. Fallout trying to answer back.
And that's going to be a huge little play from them, especially when you're talking about Galaxy. He popped that sprint, right, underneath that tower dive when the real world dropped on his head, courtesy of Midnights to evade death from the tower shots, but then still ends up falling to Ana anyway. So a death to Galaxy and a waste of the utility spell, as we also
I'm not sure how I like the Kimmy pick. I can see how it outranges Melissa a bit,
They're able
but
to defend here a little
I
bit.
don't know.
Mellow hanging out a
Oh,
bit
looking
more
for an
here.
easy tower dive here. Mel's a bit
Definitely
low.
having the advantage
Not really
now.
doing much, though.
Ackerman putting a lot of pressure for members on the
Cursed
top
helmet rush on
side.
the Lance.
Could be trouble for Guapsi and Mello.
This is interesting. We've seen Guapizi go for the Genius Wand on the Kimmy, right? I was expecting maybe the Ice Wand to be locked in first, but he's going to go for a bit of that early penetration, maybe to boost up the spike for that damage, especially in a matchup against Zia, who's already picked up his Corrosion spike. So he's definitely already locking in onto his core items. Both of these marksmen have been able to lock in that first piece as we cross over the 4-minute mark. So it's going to be interesting how that kind of transfers into these early skirmishes, these early fights, especially since Turtle now is up on the top side of the map, and both these gold laners can get involved if they choose to do so.
I mean, it's a good thing that there isn't, like, the gold lead hasn't really escaped Fallout too much. Ackerman only holding it down 1,000. They did just lose out on that purple buff, which is very bad for Ana. Uzi trying to come up. I don't even know if Fallout can try to contest this at this point. Ana not having that purple buff is going to be huge if they want to try to take a big fight here. Nicolette holding that Bay gets terrified on Uzi. Midnight's dropping. Pat real manipulation, a lot of damage. Ana picking up the kill on it. Nicolette, but Kush
Uzi a little bit low, gets the ult on Kush, pulls him back in. Kush has more dashes, so he gets out. Oh, flicker ult from Nact onto Eve and the glue. He did focus the glue. It doesn't really matter, he gets out.
Back after losing Nicolette.
Huge play from them, and I'm right there with you, Trex. I really feel like Fallout maybe should have reconsidered their options. We're speaking of reconsidering.
Big stun. Toinks able to walk onto Ana here. Quad shadowing through. Not able to pick up Kush there. We are starting to see a bit of damage, though, coming from Ana.
Absolutely. Definitely some damage coming in from Ana here, but damage still being done from Ackerman. Like we said, they're still holding on to that 1K gold lead. They also have picked up both of the turtles in this early stage of the game. Wapizi hasn't been able to find too many opportunities. The pressure hasn't really been coming on for him as Zia picks up that Demon Hunter sword. He now has 2 of the items and looking to pick up the tower. It's going to be huge for the side of Ackerman.
For the pick, Mello trying to come in. Does not commit, though.
Wait, who flickered out?
Doesn't
Who else?
use the divine
I don't know.
judgment.
I'm not really motivated to watch this shot, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, my camera's fucked up too. But I'm watching because I can't get a rank game.
Still here, but the range just can't compete. He's gonna lose that tower.
I'm talking to Zane right now.
You know, losing that tower and now gonna let Zia be able to rotate. We kind of seen this.
There's a 2K gold lead outside of Ackerman versus.
What they were doing kind of with basic, letting to get their marksmen to
Fallout.
moving around is gonna be huge for the side of Ackerman. They've already been winning the team fights. So speaking of team fights.
Oh, Galaxy a little bit overextending a bit. Kush going in trying to do something and has no more dashes, jamming out. Man, a little bit low. Kush getting pulled back in with the ult from Kaja. Anna's too low to even do anything. Kush, glued on Kush, trying to do something. Pulls him back in. Kush is taken out. Uzi, he's going for it. He's trying to keep going here.
Finding the picks where it matters.
Gets out.
That's right, finding the picks when they matter. But now look at this. We're seeing the rotation, right? Zia, after they found the tower on the top side, moving to the bot. And like what we were just talking about, this is what happens when you lose that gold lane tower first. You allow the enemy marksman to start rotating around the map, putting pressure on outside towers, putting pressure in those team fights when they join in. While Easy still hasn't been able to find the tower and almost fell to the hands of Galaxy there up in the top side, Trex.
Might still go
Whoa,
down.
Kaja ult onto Anna. Anna gets out. Oh, the low. Bro, not looking too good for them. Tank Lance coming in. Uzi a little bit low. Getting flicker ult, so it has to flicker out. Oh, animation dodges the lethal ult with his ult. I love when that happens. I do that too. You can dodge like anything. You get iframes when you ult on glue.
That's right.
It's so satisfying too. Oh, Galaxy gets pulled into Lapo's face. Dies. I don't know why. I don't know why Mello used Shadow Mask. But whatever. Uzi a little bit low. Fallout actually has a lot of kills compared to Ackerman. I guess because the Kaja picks make it free. Also, Esme getting called out a lot.
That's right. And would a pick like Kimmy, something that's kind of been underwhelming when you think about it coming into this this regular season, for it to be 1-0-1, that's not bad for the side of Fallout. Like you said, definitely something that can be a bit of a condition. I'd also like to add, I feel like it's a great opportunity for them to maybe abuse some hope.
Ooh, Newman on blast. Anna flicks right into it. Gonna get stunned up. Moves on the backside. Picks up the killing spree. Zia goes down first. Toinks may just be next. Wapsie kiting away. Able to find the damage. And Midnight
Tank Lance going in.
Kush
Guapo doing some damage. Whoa, the Kimmy damage coming through.
The dash comes in, and Guapsie finds Galaxy.
The barrage.
Nice play. Anna still dancing.
The barrage.
Along with Mello. Mello
The pew pew pew. Oh. Kush trying to do something. Kadra goes down. Kush dashes out. He's fine. Dude, Tank Lance is so fucking broken, bro. The things you get away with.
It's 9-3, but the gold lead.
The things you get away with.
The pieces are starting to fall in the puzzle here. Is what we were kind of questioning what was going on with the Kimmy pick, but starting to make a little bit of sense of it. Speaking of making sense, Wapsie has already picked that Divine Glaive, going for that early percent penetration up against the composition for Ackerman, which I think is a good call.
What a mess.
You're going up against a team, so the Esmeralda and then Tonix on this
little bit.
a couple beefy objects, beefy opponents to go ahead and take down. And I feel like they gave us a great representation of what we were going to see as Tonix is being pressured here. Tricks.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing it well, right? Wapsie kiting, that's exactly what you're supposed to do with Kimmy. You can move, you can shoot all at the same time. In the beginning, the damage was kind of lacking, but I just saw him use another one of those maximum charges, and instead of taking 10%, he takes 25% off of Zia's health bar. So the damage
Kimmy trying to do work.
Here comes another maximum
This game is only interesting because of Kimmy, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, flicker ult, sprints, barely gets out of there. Tonak, no flicker ult. A little bit rough. Oh, he's getting Tonak. Tonak's dead. Oh, and Zia dies too to Anna. Wait, Fallout's gonna win?
Fallout taking over this game.
Fallout's 3-11 right now.
And this is
They have a gold dip, probably just because Zia's been farming a lot. And Kush. Kush has the XP lead. Galaxy getting absolutely melted by Kimmy.
Whoa.
Just destroyed.
Is that a Kimmy we're looking at right now, Deku?
That's right. Again, as I was trying to get out right, I think now what we're seeing is the combination of this Kimmy and Eve and Midnight, right? If you really want to break it down and kind of look at the 1-2 that we're getting here, it's the slowing capability with the kiting that they have. They have so much control. Ackerman trying to go for this front to back, but it's too much slowing them down to be able to commit. Even with them trying to find that Numian Blast on Guapisi, with the dash, with the sprint.
Oh,
he might find
ult.
Yeah, big Newman on blast. Uzi is gonna get stunned, but in comes Anna. Big damage. Nikolai goes down. Points now on the run.
Flicker ult from Mello onto Zia, getting caught out, but he gets out barely in time. But it is still 2 down for Ackerman compared to fall out. Kush trying to do something, gets out. Oh, he needs to get out of there. Now
finds the Lord, and Kush is forced to tuck tail and run away.
You don't want to rank? I'm trying to rank right now. There's nobody online. Like, I'm trying to find people to play with. There's actually no one online, so I can't rank.
This is one of the ways to find
That's why I'm watching this.
Nicolette is struggling right now. 0, 3, and 2. You saw her pop that real world manipulation, but just not able to get it done like Midnight, who's 4-0.
Apple beating a tad.
Dived on immediately.
Smidge.
Bye-bye, Nicolette. Join us up here at the caster desk. She's spawning right back into the map now, but the pressure has been applied. Now she is behind. The entire team of Ackerman is falling behind. Fallout, they're down 4K gold. We weren't expecting this before.
Whoa, Anna snowballing on the Haya, just a tad.
Man, Anna and Guapsi, both these players are on. The thing is exactly what I said. Like, Fallout, they just pocket up with Guapsi in the backside, and Anna's free to do whatever Anna wants.
Yeah, not much damage coming in from Ackerman's side. You know, Valentina is a burst hero, not so much a DPS. And if Melissa's behind, nothing much is going to happen. Uzi getting ulted, but he's going to ult out anyway to live. Kush trying to do something, destroy everything, but it's fine, nothing happening. Tonak. Oh, Tonak getting bursted down by Haya. Haya's a tad bit fed. 3-16, Kadra ults Kush, but Kush manages to get out still. Nothing too huge. Zia's getting fucked by Eve. Look at Galaxy's HP just disappear from the Kimmy, bro. The Kimmy is just destroying Galaxy right now. I haven't seen a fed Kimmy since double buff just came out, and it was the meta was Kimmy jungle getting double buff. I haven't seen a fed Kimmy since then. Until double buff was a new thing. It's been fucking ages since I've seen a Kimmy pop off.
It's looking amazing. Okay, good is a bit of an understatement. It's looking better.
My lord.
To see it here, but hang on, the siege coming out.
Yeah, good siege at that minion, still coming. Newman on blast, ready to land.
Okay, interesting Newman on blast.
Very clean.
Ult from Zia, that's also interesting. I don't know why he did that. Maybe he was scared.
Into the 13th minute.
Maximum charge, maximum damage from maximum range from Guapsizi. Sniper's precision as he threads the needle right into Zia's face for the split cap. to the forehead as he's taking down members.
Trash
Nice and
talk?
low.
Trash
You know
talk?
what,
Yeah,
Trix,
I
it
don't.
kind of goes back to that point
Not
about
actively
this
on IG
Kimmy
24/7.
and Eve
No, I would not
combination.
see it
They're
right
facing
away.
up against a
But it's
beefy
like,
lineup, but
I don't even know
because
why
they
his name
have
was
so
talking that much
kite
shit.
potential, because they have so much poke, they're able to chip away at the HP bars of Ackerman, and they have to reconsider their engage. They can't commit fully because before they can commit to the dive, they're already down to a third, if not a half of HP. Tricks. It's not a lot to work with after Kimmy's let off a few shots, after Eve's let off a few shots. And when you're talking about Kimmy pining and then a real world drops out of nowhere, it's almost as strong as a stun lock CC because you really cannot move. As Midnight picks up the Divine Glaive, now going to stack in some more damage alongside Guapzz, and they're both playing well. With all this kiting, Midnight's 4-0 and not
Come
able to find the mark.
on.
Guapzz 4-0.
I want the
and
Kimmy to
while
win, just because it's a
Jimmy,
funny pick.
Big Brain Neutron here.
Kimmy's a funny
he's
pick.
being a huge component for the side of Fallout. They're gonna have to find a way to answer this. They have to be able to deal with this.
It's a nice pick. What can I
If they're
say?
not able to find a way to maneuver around to get to the back line, this is gonna be all but a GG for the side of Ackerman.
That definitely hurts. Another thing to point out, Mello just picks up the
Oh, look at Galaxy HP disappearing. Kimmy, oh, Tonak with the attempt at a flicker roll, but it's not going to do much.
And able to take that Lord.
Uzi on Zia, trying to kill him. Zia dies. Tonak gets ulted. I think it's a GG here for Ackerman.
Maximum charge,
Bit of a gap in every single lane.
Now it's 3
like, goddamn.
against 5, and the Lord marching down the top side. Ackerman in trouble.
Hey, don't count out the Lord there, Trex. This is more than a 3v5. This is a 3v6 because the big man up in the top lane pushing down with the Lord, and there goes Guapzz and the rest of the team ready to siege and potentially end this game looking for the high grounds in that crystal base.
Look at Guapzz chipping away on the
Oh, look at his HP bar, bro. That shit goes down. Bobsy going on the base. Uzi on Galaxy trying to pull it in.
They're trying to finish things here.
Oh my. Apple with the ult trying to do something. Anna goes in. Oh, is the game not over yet? Oh, it's 1 HP. There's no minions though. Tower lock. GG.
Finally goes down. Ackerman falls out, and Fallout
Well.
takes game 1.
And I have to tell you, Trex, we were talking about creativity coming out from Nicolette on the Valentina, but Fallout with the creative drafting, pairing up the Kimmy Jimmy with that Valentina. Ooh, boy, had Ackerman looking like turtles, even with the fast reflexes that we normally see from them, slowed down to nothing more than a crawl up against Fallout.
Definitely. I mean, just what a performance of Fallout. And this is, I think, before we came into this, I'm saying, listen, we just don't know with Fallout, right? Sometimes they play phenomenal, sometimes they don't. And that game right there, the Kimmy pick, we were doubting it, but they pull through. But now that we're looking at KDAs, like you said, how do we beat Ackerman? Let's take a look at Nicolette and Toinks right now.
That's
Nicolette
right.
and
Nicolette 1,
Toinks.
4, and 3 on one of the comfort picks. They completely shut her down. And once you shut down the Nicolette, the rest of the team will follow suit. Like you said, Toinks 1, 5, and 3. If the mage is going down, the roam is probably going down.
Kill me
with
1,
them.
2,
That
0.
can create a lot of
Yeah.
opportunity for Kush to perform.
BTK knocked out? There is no knockout. How many times I have to explain this? This is not a knockout stage. It's a group stage like MPL. I've said this so many times. I'm surprised people don't understand. And I've said this on like every single stream that I've done with this. It's a group stage MPL format. Every team's gonna go versus each other.
He slides in, able to get the pick onto Toinks here, and he's I mean,
And the top 4 teams proceed into knockout stage. There's not gonna be any knockout for like another month.
Everything they needed in that match. I think we said it a few times. Anytime Toinks would come up with the Numenon Blast,
English not their
anytime
first
anyone was
language.
about
Yeah,
to
maybe.
play, they were just able to outmaneuver it.
That's right, Trex. And right now, there's only one thing to say, or maybe two. Wheezy
Knockout stage on
either
national title?
completely correct,
But it's not
or
like
we are
knockout
all
stage.
completely wrong because we are on pace for a potential 2-1 for Ackerman, or on a potential for a win for Fallout.
Listen, you know what I'm gonna say. I would love to see the underdogs take a game here. So far, BTK failed us. I'm rooting for Fallout now. I know my vote was on Ackerman, but come on. Let's see a game.
Yeah, honestly, everyone's voting for Ackerman. I think Fallout might win.
Down
Or
with
it'll go to a
the
game
upper
3.
leaderboard.
We'll
Come
see.
on, Fallout. Can they pull this off? We're jumping into draft number 2. Are they going to go back into that Kimmy pick? I mean, it worked well. Guapzz played amazingly, and I think one of the major points in that game, Guapzz let that first tower go. He's like, all right, listen, as long as I don't die here. It's like, listen, we'll cut off the arm, keep the body alive, and in the end, it works out for Fallout.
Absolutely, because I mean, all they really needed was the scaling, right? And to be able to get those core items, we've seen a lot of Genius.
Levy, he lost
Nicolette
entry as
nice
a
pick
5
off
2.
first
It's
item.
not playable.
Not Nicolette.
What?
I forgot the names here. Midnights on the Eve, right? To be able to lock in the slow and then let Kimmy lead in for the damage, and that definitely set them up.
Do the
for some
casters
nice
wear
team
pants?
fights, later
I don't know.
on, and that 1-2 combination, the synergy there.
Ask
and the
them on stream, not
composition
me.
was well thought out to deal with the side of Ackerman. If they can maybe come up with something a little bit more spicy. Now that I've seen the Kimmy work, I'm wondering what else do they have in their bag to go ahead and take out Ackerman? Because I feel like picks like that, even though a bit of doubt is cast on them initially, you do have to break a little bit away from the standard, because obviously Ackerman is excelling in that. You have to come at them with a little bit of a flair, if you will.
Most definitely. And with Fallout on the front side this time, they're going to ban out that Valentina, right? And we've seen, I mean,
Chicky was fit check.
Like,
I'm just wearing shit I wear at home, bro. I'm wearing sweatpants and this weird pink shirt.
But I think at this point,
Wolf camera.
just given that over, leave things a bit more open. But they are, you know, they're dotting their I's, they're crossing their T's, they're checking off all the boxes here.
Glue first pick inside of Fallout. Yeah, Uzi kind of likes it.
Uzi did great on the glue
Just a
last game.
fad.
I liked it. He was another. I mean, honestly, everyone did great last game. A lot of great KDAs around the board, but I think Uzi, I don't know, I think Uzi only took 1 death there.
Yeah, I believe so. So definitely playing pretty well on the KDAs. But speaking of taking deaths, right? The chance for Ackerman right here to even up the series is definitely going to rely on Nicolette. Can they secure her some safety? Because like we talked about heading into game 1, it really starts with that. If you can throw off Nicolette, you can really take out the rest of the team of Ackerman, and that's exactly what we saw happen. And speaking of things happening here, some interesting lock-ins. We're getting Brody and Lunox picked up nice and early from the side of Ackerman.
See, and I like that from Nicolette. I think Nicolette is a great Lunox. I think sometimes Nicolette gets forced, kind of pigeonholed into what the meta is, like with the Valentina and things like that. She has a wonderful Lunox. She has a great Farsa. She has a good Eve. She has so many other picks under her belt. So sometimes when I see the Valentina get banned against her, I think it
Half
could
of
be
his
the
face.
best
Okay,
thing
man.
for her. Especially, it's not like the other team's going to get the Valentina. And I think when it comes, when that's kind of off the board, it evens her playing field or almost puts her at a bit of an advantage.
Shit, the same
And we're going to
color.
see if that holds
Bro, what the
true,
fuck?
and maybe allow her to play a little bit safer now. To avoid those early deaths, which really hinder.
What's the number beside their team
side of
name? That's their
Ackerman if
total
Nicolette is
score
not
right now.
comfortable being able to make
That's the
those
total
plays that
score.
we typically see from
So
her. But
Fallout
now,
has
like
won
you said,
6
getting to see
series,
her
lost
on the
11.
Linux of
Ackerman has won
pick
12
runner,
series, lost 5.
Really a priority, especially like you said, once you get that Valentina off the board, it might have helped them out now to put Nicolette on something she's a little bit more familiar with up against Fallout. But Fallout bringing out some bangers right now. They have some nice pickoff with Glue, but they have also secured a nice team fight composition with that Lolita and that Eve. That Numian Blast and Real World Manipulation really sets in reality for a lot of teams when you're talking about those 5v5s.
Most definitely, but how does Ackerman respond? I think they respond beautifully with the Diggy pick here. I think their laning phase maybe be a little bit weak in the very beginning.
Diggy from Ackerman, that's a really good pick.
Up for his jungle. I think this could be a
Counters
good game
all
to
3 of
go
the hero, the
something
TO,
unique here
that
just
not
because of
TO.
how squishy
Fallout has.
Nicolette and Toinks are going to be once
Big
again.
counter there.
So with the Diggy, with this Lunox, it could be the same kind of strategy for Fallout. Focus on them in this laning phase. Try to pick off Toinks as many times as possible, and that's going to lead you to Nicolette, to pick off Nicolette as many times as possible.
And they definitely do have the opportunity to do that because, as we know with the Diggy, right, you're a little bit more reactive. I mean, the whole point of it is to react to skills being used by the enemies. And so they definitely have a much better clear potential. When you're talking about that mid lane, they're going to have the prio. And, you know, it's actually interesting because if they slot that Diggy, right, typically goes over to that gold lane to babysit. So Nicolette might be a little behind when you're talking about rotations. I feel like they already would have lost.
Is their fault letting someone play Canada server if they know that they play lag?
Absolutely going to be behind.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
Let's Fallout goes for the early plays as far as ganks.
Nothing you can do about it.
When you have an Eve, the siege potential on those ganks are incredibly strong. And if your mage is straggling behind, not really safe, not really sure if they can rotate, since your vision isn't there, it might be a little difficult for Nicolette. They can really turn this in their favor to either pick off Nicolette, looking for rotations behind them, or getting that upper hand advantage on those side lanes.
And then I love the respect right now over to Ana. Ana's a threat, man. Ana's a problem. Fallout may have had some rocky games, but the Hayabusa on Ana, I know we were talking about Kushabusa, but Ana as well, definitely doing an amazing job. Maybe trying to show who the real Hayabusa player is here tonight up against Kush himself. So with both of these off the lane, I think it's really possible for a Lancelot pick here once again, right? Kush has it, and we get rid of a lot of mobility for Ana. Fredrin still up as well. A lot of options up for the jungle. Fallout taking a different route. We want Uzi to have the best game of his life. He had a great one last time, and we're going to get rid of any possible counters onto Glue here.
That's right. I mean, like you said, you can see the focus. One side looking to choke out the XP, and the other on the jungle. But it will be interesting to see what Fallout can go for. They definitely have some room to go for a lot. They could still opt in potentially for some damage, or they could go for another utility and maybe go for a little bit more protect style for whatever gold laner they might choose, because that would be pretty huge for them, because Ackerman
Thamus. I want to play Thamus.
For marksman besides
I want to play Thamus, damn.
There's no backliners. Even with that Thamus being slotted in, not someone that really easily accesses the backline. They can really stronghold their gold laner right now and really take down Ackerman in some nice 5v5s.
Yeah, and I mean that's where we take out those YZ. That's where we take out any of that possible dive. But you know, you asked me, Deku. You asked me.
Old Hyatt picture confused me. Oh, that's what that is. Old Hyatt picture. You're right. Fanny from Kush.
And there it is. Another
that's pretty
debut
good.
pick in this season.
Is it Long's pretty good against Blue? Yeah, it is pretty. It is really good against Blue.
Right,
not really good, but it scales really well into Blue.
And I was thinking the Clint. It's really not as bad as maybe it could be.
Clint is something that's definitely interesting.
It does have some opportunity.
Not sure how I feel about the Clint. A little immobile. You have to stack a lot of armor early game.
Dying as long as he can farm, but with Kush on this Fanny now, it's going to be tough. I think Melo's going to have to hang out and protect Guapsi this game.
Well, I think it kind of falls more on what Kush wants to go for, right? I'm going to assume they're going to have a lot of gold lane presence because you have the Diggy. You're going to look to babysit this Brody, aka Zia, and I would expect them to also have Kush giving up those.
It's a good draft. I'm getting digging catch lands.
If they make
not
the call to
really.
contest turtles, that means there's not going to be much pressure on the gold laner here for the side of Fallout in the laning phase. If they do focus in, that could spell disaster for him. But Trex, speaking of spelling things out, GAME2 in between Ackerman and Fallout. We're going to see the assassin matchup in between Ana and Kush one more time.
I like it. I definitely like it. I think both teams have plenty of win conditions here, plenty of possibilities. Zia didn't have the greatest game last time. He started off well. He was able to get plenty of farm, but in the end, the Kimmy wins out. Taking a look at Ackerman, I feel like they have a solid early game presence here. Even though they sacrifice a little bit of bulkiness with points, they have the Fanny, they have Galaxy on this Thamus, who has a nice early game presence as well. And then you have Zia. If Zia can get some kills up early and snowball, if Ackerman can snowball here, it's gonna be very tough for Fallout this game.
Okay,
it's gonna be tough.
Let's see how this goes. Camera, shit, my bad.
I'm really looking forward to see how they play this out because, like you said, there is some dive now with Kush on this Fanny. But if Kush isn't able to successfully take out Guapizi, who is? There still is not a lot to deal with them.
Ah, not the pause.
Respect that.
Not the pause.
Puts it in by Zia Trex. But with that pause in the action, harping on a little bit of those conditions, I really feel like Fallout has a great shot here. If they can keep Kush at bay, maybe slow down the kill potential, they have a very strong shot of being able to keep this momentum going forward, keep Clint in those fights moving forward slowly but surely on their way to the high towers.
Better pause.
Most definitely. You know,
yeah.
With the way both drafts is coming off, what do we think, like, is the only way for Ackerman to win this? Do they need to get some of these picks early on? I don't think they have too much of a late game here. I'm wondering, does Fallout just need to hold out, you know, and get to the mid game, try to keep the gold even? What are the opportunities for both teams here?
Well, see, the fun thing about having the Fanny, right,
isn't
that successful and finding
that Fanny
kills,
player, I forget his name.
Fallout, they're very strong for the team fights, but they're not that strong when you're talking about pushing those side lanes,
right?
keeping those waves in check. So that is another condition, right? If Kush isn't able to get online with the fights, he can definitely open up the map.
Oh, Apple. Oh, the dodges from Ana. Let's flicker out. Melo, what is that flicker?
But also
I met him IRL. I met New Queen IRL.
And I have to
Not just in rank. I met him IRL when we went to MPL like last year. MPL Indo, season 10. Met to watch. I met New Queen. Nice guy. Doesn't speak much English though.
High and dry on the Fanny, but not going for that assassin emblem, not for that early pin, early damage, might lower his chances.
Yeah.
But it does kind of help out maybe in the mid and late game, right? Because he has a bit more sustainability, sometimes Fannies can fall off a bit, but if he can pick up a kill here and there, as we creep into the late game, Kush maybe survives out a bit longer. Isn't just an easy target. Kush, though, forced to back off here. Turtle gonna get reset. Anna gonna go back over to the purple buff. Keep your eyes on Nicolette, because we are seeing her hide out in this bush, trying to get back to base, though. Almost getting found out. Back in Kush's purple buff, though. Uzi and Mellow keeping vision down. Turtle still up at 2.5 minutes.
That's right. Hang on, Trex.
Puncture through. Galaxy very low. World manipulation does come down. Galaxy goes down. First blood into the hands of Midnight. Make it 2. Toinks goes down next. Nicolette very low as well. Forced to run away. Kush still on the map, but this turtle may go to the side of Fallout.
And this is not what you want to see from the side of Ackerman. They are very heavy on the early side of this match. When you have the Fanny, when you have the Brody, the only real scaling coming in from Nicolette on that Lux. But again, with that being the only pick to really make that happen, it's not going to be in their favor when you're talking about the late game. When you got
it's not going to go on Guapo. Oh, okay, I guess Kush is there, to be fair.
Those team fights. When you're talking about Guapo,
reactive shark story, dude, I already, you guys are already telling me that. Like, I don't know what to say. It goes to the story because they ain't shit talk. It's just trash talk. Nothing too special about it. It's like me saying react to Zane talking about it on his stream. It's like, oh yeah, it's just shit talk. It's pretty normal.
Yeah, they're already starting to get a lead, and
to be expected.
If what I said was right, if the fact that Ackerman needs to snowball, this is going to be a problem. Anna, though, comes through, trying to dash out, still gets caught off. Push, very well played, able to still find him.
Player started his schedule. Yeah, kind of true. Oh, Diggy ult. Right, that was good.
Time Journey does come out, so they are able to walk away safely.
Shit talk is shit talk, bro. It happens all the time in MPL.
On trying to take out Anna there, who did a good job of stalling out that.
Oh, Apple, interesting ult. Yeah, with the flicker out.
Very bad spot, though.
Midnight, you know.
Will go down
Waffle, a little overextended, but gets picked off by Kush.
That could be rough for Guapsy. He needed to try to go deathless, try to buy some time, risk his life with the flicker and pace for it.
Absolutely, a little too ambitious there. A little too big for his britches as he tried to find a
yeah, I think it's stupid that the production is forcing turn-in accounts that make them lag more. I think it's really, really dumb why they're doing that.
The rest of Fallout can still keep capitalizing.
Because I know Carlos lags a lot on it too. So I think it's just stupid overall that they're forcing turning accounts.
You don't want to
really fucking dumb.
That only makes reaching that late game that much harder.
Most definitely. I like the way Uzi's playing though. Harass Kush, slow Kush down as much as possible. Anna on this tanks a lot, having free roam of the map right now. We might see a possible pickoff here. Galaxy does find them out. Uzi though, just staying.
There's no real point in even talking about. Like, I mean, you could for fun, but there's no point in arguing about it. You know what I mean? You can talk about it, sure, it's fine. But arguing about it's gonna get nowhere. Because unless you hear it from them themselves, I mean, yeah, that's not right. Even if you hear it from them themselves, the result's already there, nothing can change. But there's also the result, the fact that it's like neither team is out yet, you know? They could lose now, they'll win later, you know? These wins, it's like group staging. Like, Onyx isn't going to guarantee win MPL. It's most likely they are going to, but they're not guaranteed to win, just like TOB. They're really good, they're undefeated, but it doesn't guarantee they're going to win. It just means they're most likely to. Anything can still happen. Mellow, really low. Getting all of the death by Kush. Oh, is Kush going to be able to get him? Oh, Kush has to get out. Mellow actually barely lives. Goddamn.
Finish for the side of Ackerman.
Is it ping decided by your nets? So I don't know the exact details about how ping is decided, but if they lag more on turning accounts, then if everyone says they lag more on turning accounts, I guess that's how it is. You know, I don't know what coding issue that is.
And Kush having to walk away empty-handed this Fallout picked up another turtle in their hands.
Most definitely. Once again, we're back to the orange buff.
Kush trying to get his shit here, getting bullied by Uzi. Uzi just refuses to ult though. Tries he didn't ult.
This could be a problem.
Kush.
Anna goes down.
He dies. Oh my god.
What exactly happened there? Looking
That's
for
hilarious.
There it is.
Oh, pause after that.
There.
That's hilarious, bro. He's gonna get the recall off, I think. I don't think Galaxy's gonna stop it in time.
Will get found there, able to be taken out by Uzi.
What an interesting kind of pause.
And you know, Trex, other than that suck, don't you hate to be late to P? That's definitely not a great feeling at all. I don't know how many else of you. I feel like that's a
Late to pee. Yeah. I also regret when I feel late to pee.
All the time.
Because then the bed's
You
wet
do a little
You're
dance.
running.
when you're late to pee.
Clicking. You're jittering, man. It happens. I get it. Late to.
Or you
pee,
make a
man.
mess.
But, luckily, I will say, like, the thing that is
Late to
going there
pee.
for Fallout is Uzi in that crucial moment still finds Kush. Still finds Kush. Hops on for a ride. Goes all the way back to base. So
I'm just making
jungler
fun of
for
how you
jungler.
said it.
It's jungler for jungler. Fair trade. Fair game.
And you can see Kush was trying to make that last desperate act. He was definitely going to fall regardless, but he tried to put Uzi in a position where he would potentially end up falling as well. But as you can see, it's not going to be the case.
I think if Joy Lodge was lagging, that might explain why he was useless the second game. But the first game, I feel like it was a BTK's favor. First game was definitely, I would say, ESO's. More of ESO's problem. Then second game. Whoa! Uzi going for the play, and it works! I actually can't believe that play worked.
Nicolette finally put a death on her. Wapsie will get picked off. Cutthroat comes in. Kush
Oh, the ult on the Kush is not going to matter. That guy is dead. Wait, the ult's actually going to 2-0 Ackerman.
Wapsie 2 for 1 overall. Fallout lose 1, Ackerman lose 2. Fallout trying to answer back, but they're still down in towers. Uzi wants to re-engage, coming in with slam.
Oh, Diggy, a little bit of late ult.
Able to dash away with the
Still gets
flicker,
out.
using that time
Kush doesn't
journey.
reach for anything.
Fallout decides to back off.
Uzi on fire?
Yeah,
Uzi's kind of hard EXP gapping right now.
And that's really good for them because they have burnt out the time drain, like you said, from the side of Ackerman. So not going to have any CC immunity. Looks like Melo, though, is still waiting to get that Numian blast. Same with Midnight's with the real manipulation, but it looks like it does not matter. Ackerman not in position to contest. Fallout picks up the third and final turtle of this game.
most definitely. I mean, at this point,
Very
Fallout, yes,
tough,
I mean, they have a lead here, but they need to convert that, right? Because Ackerman's still kind of beating them in the macro. Nicolette makes some good plays across the map.
Kush, whoa! Wow! Man, he's flying. Oh, no way. He actually gets that kill still. Holy fuck.
Finds another kill.
Wait, that energy usage is absurd, bro.
4 and 2 now. We were talking
He
about
missed like
late game,
4
but at this point,
cables,
went
and he still had enough
towards
energy to
the
kill.
late game.
That's insane.
Yeah, some late
Squapple
reaction
not have
there. We were
armor?
talking about that, right? The
No
more
way, this guy doesn't have
depth
steel
he covers,
platings, right? Show the
further
items.
and further his peak potential gets. But will that be enough for Ackerman to keep this game close? Because they have fallen short in all other regards.
What a good call by Uzi there. Able to get the stun, knows exactly where the brightness, where the brilliance is going to come
Bush learning how to count.
Ackerman forced to back off again. Fallout still holding a strong lead.
Whew. Ackerman's actually
That's right.
not lost
You know,
yet, but
for
I've seen
something
Kush lose late game
I'd
before.
like to see from Guap is maybe reveal himself a little
I'm actually
bit
hoping
less
Fallout
on the
2-0s.
map as he picks up that Berserker's Fury in his
Not because I
inventory.
hope they
feel like
win,
if
but
you
I just
rely on
want
the map a
to
little
be
bit,
done with this.
Maybe let Kush go around.
I don't
Kush
want to
has
end in the
seen
middle of the
a little
series,
trigger
but
happen.
I'm like
We've seen him
tired
commit a lot, even
of
over
this shit.
to Melo on the
Oh,
Lolita.
Kush with another. This is a cable. Does he live? There's no way. Yeah. Because he missed that one cable. Interesting, right?
Nice stun onto Galaxy here.
Oh, Waffle trying to do something here. For Galaxy. Oh, Apple with the Ruby DD. Is it gonna matter? Oh, and she gets him. Melo has to back off here. Doing big damage. Melo being finished off. Galaxy being chased by Anna. And oh, whoa. Wait, Uzi. Oh, he still makes it somehow. He's trying to get out of here. Oh, the flicker stun from Zia. Actually, a really good stun. Otherwise, he would have ulted and got out.
Uzi goes down. It's a 4-man wipe all for the price of Galaxy.
And Ackerman
Why is Kush miss his game? Kush is in New York. He's probably having 60, 50, 60.
He started out by getting caught out by the Numian blast, and somehow he survived that whole engage. Meanwhile, Wapizi being taken.
Oh, Fat Hill, thank you for my membership, bro. Appreciate it. I didn't see it earlier.
Of Uzi, but after all the damage had been inflicted by the side of Ackerman.
Blue knocks Dark ult damage. Melo trying to do something. Can't make it in time.
Just when Fallout was having a nice gold lead, the tables have now.
Alright, Fallout could lose because the Diggy is a really strong pick for Ackerman. Oh, this is damage Lance. How interesting. I don't like that.
When you're speaking
damage Lance. It's good versus Diggy. Not so much Fanny.
Good game, even though early on like they might be in a bit of a trouble. Z has picked up already the Blade of the Spear. He also just.
Are you gonna play abroad? In about a month. I got about a month before I leave.
Packing a punch. The Ackerman gold laner looking to lead the way to take up the series 1-1 up against Fallout. But now they're really on the back end. Have to look for the scaling.
Whoa, Kush
Kush is being
barely gets
brutal
out.
right now in this Fanny. And it's starting to feel like that emblem choice is paying off a bit. He's getting a little more life, he's getting a little more spell vamp, but in comes Anna, look for Toinks. Time Journey does come out. Toinks wants to re-engage, trying to bring Galaxy forward. Anna able to find Toinks though. Galaxy in the midst of it all though, does find Mellow. Guapsi still down as well. Nobody in the side of Fallout able to respond just yet. Uzi,
Oh, what's going on here? Anna barely getting out with low HP. He is dying to Uzi, getting the grab, the meat slapped along his face.
Fallout needs to escape though, but he's just not quite able
2 for 2.
Kush picking up another kill, putting it in his pocket.
Marching compared to tanking EXP.
3-1, and the tower will fall next.
Kush refusing to go down.
I don't know if Guapo
Like
has steel plates or even dreadnought armor. Mello and Uzi should both have dreadnought armor, but I doubt they both do. Itemization usually sucks from NA players.
And precision cables coming out from the flying threat that is Kush, able to keep his team in this game a little bit longer. But Trex, like we said, Fallout does have scaling composition. How long does Ackerman have until this game flips on its head one more time?
I would say they still have a decent amount of time with how many deaths have gone onto Guapsi. I mean, it is bad. It is rough. And, like, he can't even be by himself anywhere because the constant, ever-looming threat of Kush is there. He has to stay with his team, so he can't go solo.
Whoa!
He can't go try to clear a wave. Wait a second, Uzi in a very
The
bad spot.
wall
Will get
spam
taken
from
out.
Kush.
Picking up another one.
All I just saw was a Beyblade.
And, you know, it seems like we've been saying.
I just noticed last I killed him, yeah, he's going damage. I noticed that a bit earlier too. I was like, what the fuck, he's going damage, Lance?
I don't know, maybe we call him, you could say Ackerman, potentially, maybe? Is that what we call him?
Levi?
The fuck is he saying, chat?
Levi? There we go, Levi Ackerman.
What is he saying?
Hello? It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's just Kush doing his own thing out here in this matchup against Fallout. But look at the setup for Ackerman. Fallout needs to be careful.
Nact flickering out. Apple with the Ruby DD just absolutely destroying Fallout's backline. Kush going in for Lance. Oh, gets him barely. Kush, 1 HP, gets out. Oh, Uzi with the play. It's not going to matter, it seems. He gets out.
Uzi now on the run once again.
Surprised Uzi didn't go in Guapo there, or Galaxy there, but I guess they wouldn't have gotten the kill and not enough damage anyway.
Unable to find the pickoffs like he was in the beginning.
Clint's emblem, I mean, he's killing spree, that's normal.
Speaking about these things, Fallout needs to find a way to pick up the pace here because
it's like one or the other. Arson killing spree.
Since they were able to,
I'm more concerned about Lance's emblem going damage. I don't like the Lance damage here. No RG, there's no one to play RG with. I would play RG, but no one's playing RG.
Right now, 1-7-2. It has been nothing short of a horrendous game for the Fallout Gold Laner, and it seems like they just can't stop Kush. Initially, right, we were talking about them having a nice setup for protection, but a Fanny went undetected into one of the best Fanny users in North America, and without having the CC to stop him, they're kind of at the women mercy of Kush messing up his own cables more so than them being able to capitalize with their own composition.
Yeah, and Kush just, I mean, he's not really...
Why would he go damage Lance? Yeah, I don't understand either why he's going to damage Lance.
Whether it's something small, he's still
also confuses me.
That's the big issue here.
I mean, Clint's also a weird pick too.
So there
Too
was
mobile.
no opportunity to counter it. Fallout couldn't do
Not
anything
enough damage.
about it. Lord is going to be marching in. Ackerman looking for a possible angle through this.
Like any other marksman, I think would have been better here.
Mid-turret is going to be focused on. Out comes road manipulation. Galaxy taking a little bit of chip damage from Guapsi.
Oh, see, like the Guapo, okay, Guapo's chip damage is kind of coming in now. The thing with Ackerman is that they are all in. They have to go all in when they engage. So they could play the long game. Fallout. They could play the long game for poke.
Indeed, and when you're down one high ground tower up against a
Fallout's
team
kind of a weird name though.
Already picked up 2 of those lords in this game, and in a great position still to pick up that third one.
Best ever for our lot.
In the next minute and a half.
It depends on what you want to do. If you want to play for yourself,
hold back? I mean, you do have
I think Assassin's
right?
fun.
So you have some strong,
ranked.
A strong high
but if you want to play for the
that
team, engages and whatnot, then like tank is probably better. Then Fighter Rebel's kind of like a middle ground. It's really just case dependent. All that's really flexible what he can do.
We've been talking about Kush finding the picks, but Nicolette has been right there.
Like really flexible.
Every dive, hitting them with that double combination ult. They're able to find the kills. Nicolette's 5, 2, and 7 in Trex. This is much better than the performance that we saw from her on that Valentina, but this is also what we were expecting and hoping for. Without the Valentina, with more of a pick Nicolette likes to use, her and Kush are online right now for Ackerman, leading the charge in the series 1-1.
Push, looking for something maybe to get around the backside here. Ackerman moving.
Uzi trying to do something. Not really accomplishing much. Might get wall spammed by Kush. Might have to ult out here. Yep. Oh, he could have went on. He could have went on Kush right there. He could have went on Kush and chose not to. If he did, he probably would have died. Would have been a really nice ult on Kush.
Now, Fallout has done a
Uzi doing
good
quite
job
well on the
even in
glue.
past games at really dragging out games. They're able to buy time. They're good at their siege defense when the Lord is coming. If they can do that,
Guapo.
maybe they look
Sea
for an
Halberd. It's
opportunity.
pretty good.
Wait until Kush falls off a little bit more.
What a
But
puss?
still,
I don't think it's because he's a
there's
pussy. I think it's more because he didn't realize in time.
That's right. And right now with that Lord spawning in Trex,
He probably didn't realize in time he had full
about,
stacks.
This could be disastrous for Fallout if Ackerman picks up this third Lord here. It is an enhanced Luminous Lord, and Ackerman definitely looks poised and ready to pick it up. And look at the positioning from the right now, playing on the back end of the pit. Toinks and Zia doing a good job, but also Nicolette is in a very dangerous position. This reminds me a little bit of what we've seen from Yureshi in the previous series, but now Nicolette has exposed herself, and Ackerman still has control of this river. So that means a couple things from Fallout. Not only do they have to
Brain
spend
didn't
a
move,
lot
he
of
went
time
in?
clearing and checking
Not really.
these
Fanny was
pushes,
low enough to
they
die.
also don't have
And then he
any
would get his ult
potential for
reset
a
by the time she
surprise
cables
play.
away.
They are going to have to react to wherever Ackerman is at, and they're also going to have to try and find them if they can. But it looks like they're going to give this up for free potentially.
There's nothing they can do. Uzi
And I'm trying to get out low with the ice red tree. Kush is going in trying to do something. Oh, 1 HP. He still gets chased. God damn.
Damage. Uzi still on the run. Fallout in a very bad spot.
The thing is, that almost kind of sucks now because of the dominance changes. The dominance changes just gutted him. Dominance was already a problem for him before, but now that they made the new changes, it just absolutely ruins him.
You could have easily saved a life there and just bunkered down for the defense.
I feel like they should make it where dominance reduces attack speed to range heroes more than melee heroes. It just fucks melee heroes. Oh, Apple with the Ruby DD onto the backline, but she's just still gonna die for it. Kush trying to do something to Guapo. Oh my god, still dies. Looks like a big old GG here. Zia tries flickering for Uzi, but Mello blocks the arrows. Anna is up now. Let's see if they can do anything about it. They have Lord coming down to 3v3. Will they be able to accomplish anything here? Let's see. Kush going back in for something. Looking, he's looking. Anna also looking. Oh, Anna misses it, and he has wind. Anna, oh, still a goner. Kush is gonna look to end the base. Flicker ult from Melody to stun Kush. Can they do anything about it? Is this game over? Let us see. Holy shit, it's over, GG. And it's 1-1. Damn, I really thought I didn't actually think they would end there. So I saw Kush die because the lore hit the base.
And the courageous spirit from
Typical
Kush,
Fanny
the
shit
final
face.
push onto the crystal, falling with the immortality, spawning right back.
Typical Fanny
So
shit
well, go ahead
face.
and close that out. Levi Ackerman
Like the description.
is what he is on the Fanny, and he definitely gave his heart there for the team of Ackerman, even up to series 1-1 tricks.
Yeah, I mean, he was swinging around. He was on top of the beast, slashing eyes, doing all that stuff, you know. What Levi would be doing, carrying his team into the forces of evil. And right now, that is Fallout. Game 3, though, coming soon. Let's take a look at these KDAs.
If you're talking about KDAs, a reverse of fortune for Nicolette went from struggling on the Valentina to soaring on the
Damage
line.
length is meta in Zimbabwe.
When she's in good standing, so is the rest of Ackerman. And now in good standing, evening up 1-1 behind Kush as well on that Fanny, opting in for a lot of damage, only using the Immortality and Festival of Blood to sustain him, and boy did it do the job as he went 10-4-1 and put a piercing dagger through the hearts of Fallout, who were looking to try to end that series early.
And taking a look at the items, right? We saw Guapsi. He just never really was able to. Only at the very end, he was finally putting out damage. Before I get too deep into that, taking a look at all the statistics, Zia, the rich guy, able to farm steadily and just be kind of a backbone for the team. But the real thing we got to look at is Kush, the carry. This man was all over the place. 32% of the damage for Ackerman. We questioned the emblem. We questioned Kush, but never questioned Kush on those assassin picks.
Absolutely. He is in a world class of his own. And Trex, looking at these replays, looking at the breakdown here, on
I
this
don't care about
match.
the
We saw
breakdown. I
Nicolette
just want to
right
get to the
there with
next
that
game
dive
and
on
end.
Midnights. What a play, able to
Fanny
find
opened the last
the
damage roll, GG
there,
mistakes.
and take that
And
apart from
Clinton pick was
Fallout.
weird.
Gets taken out, but then Kush with the swing back to focus
Should
on
have been
Guap. So there
tank
goes the
lands.
marksman, and then there goes
Should
the
have
mid
been
laner as well
Clint.
from the side of Fallout, and it made the
Giving
push of
Fanny's
Ackerman
fine, but they had
go
no
too
Fanny
easy
counters.
as they look to close out
A lot
that
of
match
issues.
on the final siege. They end up taking out Zia, but they weren't able to take out Kush twice. He spawned back in to close out that crystal base.
And once again, I think, you know, he was under that tower for a while. He took like 2 or 3 tower shots to the face, even into the base crystal tower for a while, taking a shot from there. But because of that emblem choice, when it got into the 15, 16, 17 minutes, the man's got plenty of kills. He's got all his stacks up. He's got so much spell vamp, he doesn't know what to do with it. And as long as he can pick up those kills and keep outputting damage, he's just hanging out. He's just hanging out under those towers. He's able to really dive and help out his team that way.
Definitely. I mean, Kush turns Guapzi on that Clint into a pinata, if you will, just beating him up, taking the candy from him, then getting up out of there, and then coming back into the fights to join in again to find another target, finding those towers, like we said, finding the crystal base for the side of Ackerman. So a well-rounded game from Kush, finding the objectives and kills to lead Ackerman to tie up this series.
Guapzi the Pinata. That's a nickname right there.
That's a nickname, the Pinata.
I mean, game 1, he was the one giving the
I'm so
beating.
tired. Do I end it?
Game 2,
I just want. If I even want to watch this, fucking hell. I just don't want to end in like.
I mean, I feel like a lot of teams, a lot can come
I don't
down
know.
to
I don't want to end
how
mid-series.
Fallout, at least in this series, a lot is on the shoulders of Guapzi here. When he was doing great, the team was doing great. When he wasn't doing great,
And I can't rank either. No one's
I
playing.
mean, Anna's always going to kind of hold her own, but the rest of
No one's playing ranked. I mean, it's a tournament day. Who's gonna play
Guapzi
ranked? Everyone's gonna be playing ranked and just chilling.
Because
after
if
they
it
play
doesn't,
ranked.
it doesn't
Who's gonna
matter
rank,
how
you
well
know?
Anna does. It doesn't matter how well Midnight
You have
or anyone
8
else
teams
does.
playing in
They
one
just
day.
don't have
8
the
times 5, 40 people.
And,
That's
know,
literally just
it
everyone
made
that
me
plays
laugh
ranked
a
in
little
NA.
bit while you were talking, I started visualizing Guapzi really being a pinata. And that first game, right, suffered no deaths. So it kind of reminded me, it made me think of like a kid trying to hit the pinata and they just keep on missing. They keep missing. They're like walking away. They're nowhere even near it. And then in game 2, you got that one kid that tries way too hard, which was Kush, and literally smacks it off the first go and just keeps beating it and beating it. It's enough. The candy's out, but he just wouldn't let Guapzi get back up, would not let him fight back.
Yeah, I mean that was the focus. That was the focus for Ackerman that game. I feel like just completely hone into the gold lane, and it completely made Fallout crumble there. Especially since Anna didn't pick a damage jungle that time, went for the tanks a lot there instead of like the Hayabusa or something else to carry. Well, once Guapzi was taken out of the picture, there was nothing left. But we wanted a match. We wanted a game 3 in the first series of tonight. We're getting one here, and I'm just as excited for it. Ackerman up against Fallout. Match
BTK lost 2-0.
And I'm not going to, I mean, I think Fallout could still pull it off here. I'm not going to take it away from him.
Absolutely. I feel like it was more of like a bit of a misread, right? You're going up against Kush. They took out some assassins, but you left Fanny open, especially with a composition that didn't have much single target capability for CC. To be able to lock him down. Obviously, Uzi found some kills, but that was more of misplays from Kush. Maybe recalling in a bad spot here, maybe overextending in a bad spot there. But once he really locked in, there was no one to stop him. I mean, diving on those high ground turrets, diving into the midst of fights, knowing that all the team members were there, but with no CC to hold him down, you really can't stop him. And like you said, that Festival of Blood really came in clutch for him. It's too much spell vamp to even if they did land some damage, he was regening it right back up, taking the kill and leaving the fights. And I feel like if they can maybe find another decent draft like they did in game 1, but keep all of those boxes checked off, like not letting Kush take a Fanny in a composition where you don't have a lot of single target CC, they still have a great shot. I mean, opening up the series, finding a win in game 1 is huge enough, as with most of us thinking it was going to be a sweep in the hands of Ackerman. But now both of these teams have the series on the line. It's 1-1 treks, and this draft is going to start kicking off on who's
This is just 5-ban rank game. Damn.
This time Ackerman isn't gonna try to force Nicolette into that Valentina pick. They're gonna ban it themselves. They learned, right? It's like okay, we lost the Valentina game 1. We win with Nicolette on the Lunox. So Fallout, there's no more messing around with that. Nicolette, I'm wondering if they're still gonna force
I'm just gonna be done with it.
I mean, it's like, I'm thinking ban the Farza, but it's honestly like, nope, because Nicolette's just gonna go to the Lunox. She's just gonna go to something else. So do we just stick with the regularity? They go, I like that. They go for Kush, because you don't want to have to deal with that Fanny again. Even if you can counter the Fanny and pick a bunch of things, it's still a problem.
You definitely have to respect the Fanny, because I mean, another one of those things, like we were saying, like even if Kush didn't find great success in those kills, which obviously he did, the split push potential was still there, which I feel like is a little of a less degree with other assassins, minus Link, right? Of course, Hayabusa can kind of get it done, but when you're talking about cross map plays, it's really only Fanny and Ling that fit that bill, fit that category, and I feel like taking off that Fanny, even if Kush still locks an assassin, takes off a little bit of pressure, you know there's not too much dual purpose threat coming at it. He's looking for the kills, and now you just have to find the pieces that kind of slow him down and stop that entirely. Speaking of slowing down deaths, there's a Faramis locked in from Ackerman on that first take, responded on the swing back already with a Fredrin from the side of Fallout.
Yeah, and they're also going to pick up the Farza. So right now you have your front line, you got your back line, a nice solid start. Not only that, but the Fredrin, very flexible. So not showing too many cards off. If they want to have Uzi keep it, or they want to swap it over to Ana here, there are options for the side of Fallout. And these are the drafts that I like to see from teams that we don't see.
All right, let's see the draft.
Is that flexibility.
Got Glue, Faramis, Farsa, Fredrin. Fallout did ban Kush's Fanny. Respect to him.
Ackerman, on the other hand, keeping things simple.
Glue is pretty strong though.
Showing everyone what they're going to pick here and where it's going to go. Nicolette on the Faramis, Galaxy on the Glue.
And with these picks out here, I can only wonder what the roams are going to be. And from the side of Fallout, I would love to see a Lolita or a Grok picked up to go ahead and stack on that additional CC for that engage with Fredrin, and then even to lock in against that Colt Ultra to kind of stop that. But they're going to go ahead and pull out the Link tricks, and we were talking about those cross-map assassins, and that's going to the hands of Ana. And now no matter what Kush locks in that jungle, there's always going to be a little bit more pressure as long as Ana doesn't fall too far behind to keep this map open in the assassin matchup.
If I'm Fallout, I ban out the tanks a lot here. I ban out the tanks a lot here. I try to
100%.
really limit Kush on a lot of possibilities. Plus, they took the Fredrin, so it's a beautiful read there as well. You limit even more of what's going to go into the jungle. They're taking out the Diggy. I think, like I said, still, even though you ban out the Diggy, I think the tanks a lot ban is very solid here.
I agree 100%, but maybe they want to dare.
What are you guys typing? What language is this? Let's chillax here.
And that,
they throw a TOB just dominate. Game 1, BTK hard through. They had a good gold lead. They were really ahead the first few minutes, and then they started dying, and then they threw like a big fight. They hard through. BTK hard through the first game. First game, definitely BTK should have won. Second game was just a stomp from TOB. Probably BTK's mental was just boomed.
Has instantaneous capabilities to open up team fights with the Feather Airstrike, with the Tempest of Blades, a lot of pressure onto Beatrix, and answer to the Faramis. But we're gonna have to see maybe what they're going for. I definitely like Ackerman's feeling that as well. They're going for the sets as they did take out the Lolita. So this is gonna be interesting draft finalization here, and they're really thinking about this final ban tricks.
Down to the last few seconds, they go for the Franco. Right? Which, the Franco's solid. I think at this point, Fallout, pick up the Claude, right? Pick up the Claude. Solid against the Faramis and everything. Helps burst everything down. It just adds even more to what their composition is working towards. I think it could be a great pick, but they can save it, right? Because at this point, Ackerman's not going to pick up the Claude right now. So if they want, they can save that for a final pick, or they can use it to buy time here to see what Ackerman locks in. And that way, when they pick up their roam, they can kind of counter here. Ackerman still needing a roam, though. Still needing something. Maybe the Kufra to help deal with the Ling.
Right, but from the side of Fallout, do you want to wait on your roam? Because a lot of roams have been taken off the board, so that's another thing to think about. Kaj is off the table, Franco, Lolita, Diggy, Estes. There's a lot of roamers off the board right now, but they're going to go ahead and hang it in there, and they're going to lock in the Nathan here for the gold lane for Fallout.
Hey, man. Guapsi's getting crazy.
One lost the key why they lost. It wasn't just the Lord loss. It was just like their macro. Just macro. Really macro diff.
Like not what we see ever. We've seen the Natan. That's not a debut pick. I think we've seen it once or twice, right, throughout the season so
from
far.
Mobazane.
From Mobazane. Kush gonna pick up the Kushabusa though. The Kushabusa and the Kufra, so I like it. I do like that. I'm a little worried about Natan now, though, because, yes, he has that ultimate flicker, but he's not extremely mobile, right? And he's a prime target for Kush on this Hayabusa.
That's right. And, you know, I feel like that's one of the things you kind of have to think about. This is where something like
Are you planning to play in future tourneys, XP or gold? Well, probably XP. I could play gold, but it's most likely
XP. It does very
XP.
well against the Faramis. It had a lot more mobility. But when you take in Nathan, knowing there's an assassin jungle over there on the side of Ackerman, who's 9 times...
I mean, if I go to Asia, I'll play whatever role. I'll play XP or gold. If I can make it the age of it. And hey, I don't know what I would play. Just whatever role needs me most, I guess.
Blue and Faramis at bay there, even a Kufa there, but wait a minute.
We're taking it old school.
We're getting a
Dar.
little
Busha time? What the fuck does that even mean?
Hey man, the Heart Guard Ling used to be a really solid pick.
Busha
The Heart
Busha.
Guard Ling used to be something you could really play.
That's that E-boy, E-girl special right there.
Yeah. It's that
Yeah, I'll play
game,
jungle for sure,
rank
Carlos.
game, never met each other, girlfriend, boyfriend.
Hell, I might as well
special
play
right there.
mage.
Definitely
Oh,
like
yeah.
it. Definitely interesting.
This is Tinder and MLBB.
Like, what the fuck are they talking
But on
about?
a
I'm
serious
spacing
note,
out, and all of a
it
sudden they
works,
hear
right?
Tinder.
It adds a bit more pressure. It can also
Like,
help
what
out
the
Boston.
actual fuck are they talking about?
But it is also a prime target in the laning phase. Like, we talk about squishy roamers like the Diggy and stuff like that, but Angela...
Gold lane minions,
is a
gold getting
major
nerfed, and jungle
target.
creeps
I
getting
think
buffed the
Push,
next
like,
patch.
what's
That's
your job
interesting.
right now? Focus on Guapsi. Also try to pick off Mellow. The whole mid lane is looking very squishy on the side of Fallout.
What's the new
We are
update,
now
bro?
jumping
I need a new update
into
to keep
match
my
point.
interest in the game.
Game 3, Fallout going up against Ackerman.
Has it really only been
one
10 days since the last
victorious
update?
here. Which way is it gonna go, Deku?
There's no way, right?
Well, I tell you where it's not going, and that's not to the laning phase. We're
Gold
gonna
lane
hop
nerf is
into the
big?
falls,
Is it
but
really now?
I have to
That's
tell you, Trex,
interesting.
with that Angela being locked in, while it was
It's probably
cuddly
to,
and a little
like,
humorous up there at
make
the
it where
draft,
gold
I do feel
lane
like that's gonna
leads don't
provide
matter
a
as
lot of
much.
opportunity to the side of
Because
Ackerman,
it's pretty
especially when you
easy,
have
because
that
the gold
Kufa,
lane,
who I feel
just
like
missing one gold
abuses,
cannon
the Bush camping
could be
like no
so
other.
huge,
When
like
you don't have vision on
130 some
Kufa,
gold
the threat
with the
of an
last hit.
engage is ever imminent, especially when you have the flicker ready. You're talking
So
about
missing
wild
that,
angles that can be taken, and Kufa
probably
really
huge.
thrives off that, the lack of awareness, and that's exactly what you're gonna have because Angela. Who's there to check these bushes? There's no one on the side of Fallout to be able to clear out the vision. Angela's not even one of the supports. I know.
Okay, I see the Elgin video. I want to watch it now.
Hey guys, what's up? So we have a new update on Advanced Server.
Fuck, I can't have the audio playing.
But with Angela, you don't have that. So
Why wouldn't it let me close it? Trying to watch
the
Elgin's
supports
video,
that
bro.
could give you that vision. Angela is not one of them, and I feel like that's even further disastrous for that.
42% win rate, Hanabi.
Talking about Fallout in this matchup with Kufra, it's going to be very tough, especially when you're talking about those neutrals. Kufra could be anywhere, and you
Double
can't
fight him
check.
back again.
You might get hit by a
I wanna watch the
target
video
at
first.
any moment, and that's going to be very scary for Fallout. And so for that reason, I really have to give that to Ackerman. They have an overwhelming threat.
Yeah, I feel like
Alright, I don't think I can watch 2
Fallout
different
right
YouTube
now,
videos at once.
mean,
I don't
on
think my computer
paper,
can handle it.
you're dreading
Trying to
the
stream
early
plus
game.
watching
You're even dreading
the stream
someone's
plus watching
late
this.
game, right? Until
You heard
you can bring
Elgin's
your
voice?
full
Yeah, I
team
know. I
together
muted it. I
and,
muted
like,
it.
fight for a lord or fight for things. It's gonna be tough.
Second skull is Trout. Oh my god, wait, Savannah might actually be meta. They finally gave her second skull CC immunity. Savannah might actually become meta because of that. That they actually gave her second skill CC immunity. I've been wanting that change for like ages. I've been saying how Savannah getting CC immunity on her second skill would actually make her good. So now it might actually be meta again. She might actually be meta. I'm not even a cap. She might be meta.
And you know, even with
Purify
this
can
Farsight,
remove
right, like if they would have took something like the Claw,
Harley
it
ult
would've been a
now,
little bit better
which is
because
interesting.
now
I don't know why they
everyone's
would add
pretty
that.
much dive-centric. You don't have anyone really waiting in the back line. Farsight can kind of wings by wings out. But even then, now that you have Natan, that's one more person they have to choose for the hard guard. Is it going to Anna or is it going to your Natan here in the gold lane? And with this Kufa, right?
They
it's such
killed
a
Harley
threat
for some
because
reason.
not
Yeah, I don't know
only
why
does
they
it
changed Harley to
counter
be
out that
like
Federer, it's like every
purifiable.
time
That's
you sit
weird.
still to go for that, it's a free set potential for the Kufa. Not only that, last time Kush matched up against a Farsight,
They
with
gave him
Fire
attack
Decisive,
speed.
decimated them.
But
Right?
is that
Everyone
only
exactly who
work
the player was
on
for the team,
heroes?
But Kush is definitely
Nobody
a fan
knows.
of these squishy
That's how bad he beat him.
backliners. That's straight to the underground, right? He's kicking butts and he's not taking names either. And that's the same case for Nathan. They're so immobile.
Interesting.
It's just so many threats. When
Minnow
you look
Minnow
at
2 no
that
rage.
backline
Are they moving
matched up against
raid
Fallout,
off of
you
Minnow?
have the
That's
glue
interesting.
still for the back line. They never
Savannah's gonna be
move
so
that
good though.
fast.
Like, I'm being serious, chat. Savannah would actually be actually be meta
I really feel like
if that
Fallout,
change really does
they're
go
gonna have
through
to play
and they don't nerf her
extremely
more.
cautious and extremely hard to be able to win this game. Their win condition is messy. It's a lot harder than it is for Ackerman.
Export buff? I doubt it's gonna mean much.
Look to pick off Angela, Farsight, Natan. That's all they gotta do.
Alright, let's
to
watch the
win
game.
this
Fuck the patch. Fuck the Elgin
A
video.
lot of snacks on the map for Kush.
Fallout 611, Ackerman top 5. Points got revealed there.
big boy here.
Kush took the high this time, and I took the ling. All Fallout plays is the assassins.
Right? They're going to be able to clear pretty quick. Both of them have nice.
It's pretty interesting. It's nice to see like some unique play styles.
So if they can kind of keep that pace, maybe it helps them out here. Uzi going to rotate up. Turtle will be up in still a minute, but it looks like everyone wants to fight for the Crystal Wander right now. Everyone except for Anna, who is up in the top side.
Yep, Anna's just farming.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see because there's a lot
That's just a free litho for Kush.
Brought up from side of Fallout. We're actually already seeing Midnights make that rotation here. It's 4 members up in the gold lane. Got their eyes on Z here, but they're not going to make any use of it. With these wasted movements, I hate when teams make these kind of rotations to not really go.
Nact should go in the bush under that camp, so you can try and steal it from Anna. Going all the way to the lane. I mean, I guess he's scared that they're going to die, but okay, now he's trying to do it. Okay.
Yeah, mid lane.
He didn't get the camp.
Target achieved.
Now he's in a weird spot. Kush did kill Midnight's pretty good.
Midnight's goes down.
Kush doesn't have ults. And they're backing off. Ooh, Famous pulled him off. Anna has to ult. That is really... Oh! Oh, it's so huge. Wait, Fallout's actually just doomed. That is such a bad start for Fallout.
That's right. Kushabusa already 2-0, taking a fat lead for Ackerman.
This is gonna be a highest snowball for sure.
The turtle contest.
Uzi trying to do something, but Melo still.
Oh, why would you bonk when they have the fair missiles?
Still able to take the turtle.
All right, GG.
Another kill. Not going to Kush this time. Galaxy finds it, but still.
No, hi, Clouds.
3-0. They're going to be aggressive as ever with Shadow Stampede, able to pull Melo away, but they're keeping vision on that purple.
No.
Things are getting hairy and scary for the side of Fallout right now. Already losing this assassin matchup. Anna has fallen behind, and Kush showing exactly why his comforts in the jungle are uncomfortable for the opponents to match up against.
Lord Kush.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah, he's pretty fed already. Anna's gonna be split pushing a lot this game, it seems.
As we start.
I don't know about the Angela pick though. I don't like it. Anna just split pushes on his ling anyway. He doesn't really play to get kills in the team fight, so I don't see like the point of doing Angela.
Look for another pick off, not quite able to find it, but the threat is there.
That's right, and that's a big issue, right? At the start, it was just about the set, right, coming out from Twinks, but now it's almost an automatic death if you get caught out by Kush, who is taking a nice lead. Speaking of leads,
and comes a hard guard. Guapzi is
a
little bit of damage.
Guapo will be
able to dance around, flicker away, Kush. Guapzi, wait a second with the flicker through. Kush still looking for him, able to find him, and now Melo in a very bad spot. Shadow kill comes out, not able to.
Melo should have us away earlier. Might be able to catch him.
For Kush, but he should be able to get away safely. Overall, though,
wait, Ackerman throwing?
One trade.
Get away safely. Kush is the danger tricks. The side of Fallout got away safely. He decided to let them go 3-0 and 1, but he's got his eyes on it.
Kush is hungry, man. Oh my God! To the other side of the map.
He had ult there, he was dead,
Where'd that Shadow come from? All the way to the other side, able to find Anna there. Now Nicolette.
Anna didn't really need to recall. Well, if they invade this blue, they do.
Uzi falls right.
Uzi a little low.
Gets knocked up. Uzi forced to use the flicker. Melo.
He still has the shadow on him. Chooses not to go in.
On to Anna here. Kush.
Galaxy trying to make a play on Anna. Anna did not get the blue.
It's mine now.
Kush got it.
Yum yum. More snacks for Kush.
That's bad for Anna.
And that's huge. He picks up the purple
yum
buff. He
more
already
snacks.
Had the lead on Anna.
Oh,
has the kill advantage
the flicker.
As well. Speaking of kills, Kush working on 2 more.
He's everywhere. He's omnipresent. He's all over the map right now, Deku. There's just no way to stop him.
Anna's really having a rough time here.
You could see Anna tried to go sneak away with that purple buff over in Kush's jungle, but unsuccessful as the rest of the members of Ackerman promptly responded. So now more wasted movement coming out from Anna, not able to find either purple buff as Kush putting on a lot of damage now. Anna has fallen behind 1 level here when you're looking at the jungle matchup. So even coming in to contest for this turtle is ill-advised.
Oh, Melo
will not be as
getting baited out.
Another kill though, Trix.
Yeah, I'm, you know, Deku, this is gonna be a problem. There's just no answer.
Anna,
right
dude, Anna's red trees are so good. Oh, a solo kill top side. Guapo onto Zia.
Could be a possible answer.
Oh, Schna.
Wait a second, big grab, going for right on top.
Galaxy a little deep.
Guapzi getting pulled around like a rag doll.
Oh, Galaxy to flicker out.
Strike damage is not there yet though. Nicolette able to use the Cult Altar to keep them alive. Nicolette gonna keep on playing tug of rope here, looking for somebody. Uzi dashes in, Toinks cocking back, ready to go, looking for the knock up, not quite able to find it though. Guapzi takes the tower though on the top side.
You know, I've been sitting here thinking about Kush's nicknames, and I think maybe outside of Kushabusa,
I think maybe
something
you
like
just
the Shadow Slayer
don't.
would be aptly named for him on this Hayabusa. He's looking to lock in on midnight.
It's too cool, man. It's too cool. Way too cool. It's gotta be.
Oh, and oh, what a jump from Nact. Catching the Ling mid-air. He actually saved Kush's life. Kush should have died there for sure.
Focused over to the mid side. Kush forces Shadow Kill away.
Pulling Uzi back into the
Uzi.
Oh,
Very
Uzi
low.
gone.
Galaxy able to find it. Kush picking up another kill. 5-0.
But Zia dies once
He's
more.
unstoppable, but Zia does
Zia
go down, having a rough
0-3, getting
game, 0-3
fucked here.
And he falls
Getting
into the hands of
touched a
Mello
bit.
there. Angela being the biggest threat from the side of Fallout, if you can believe it here. That E-Girl special there. E-Girl Mello leading the way. But I have to tell you, Trex, 5-0-1 on this Hayabusa. Things are looking grim for Fallout. Normally at this point, you kind of bank on mistakes coming out from other teams, but Kush is not one of those junglers to make them. And he's been having his way with Anna, and they might have to rely on that, you know, cross-map potential that we were talking about. Anna's gonna have to try to open up the map, but it's honestly a lot of threat. Like you said, there's no one to give him any vision. Normally you have a roamer capable of showing something.
Oh, going on midnight
Kush,
once more, getting transferred to Kush. Nothing really happening.
Anna shows up, able to save the day there. Very close call though. Wait a second. Zia in a bad spot, flicks in. Wopsy finds another one, and this could be the win condition for the side of Fallout. Wopsy right now, 2-1-3.
Middle is gonna be mad at next patch. Holy fuck.
0-4-0. Big fight.
Oh.
Mello goes down first. Colt Alder comes out.
Guapo
Wopsy
trying to kite them out a bit.
Looking for something.
Mans is working. Oh, he TP backs. Flicker from Nicolette, but he still gets Nact. Holy shit!
Still, the potential is there.
Oh, whoa, Kush almost got caught out there, but you know, that's so scary. Not only did Kush find a double kill, he got a shutdown on Guapizi. It's not like he needed any more gold than he already has. 7-0-1. This is to the side of
The Blades comes in. Zia is a good target.
And
looking for it with the heart guard. Under the tower,
Zia with the
slings through,
0-5.
picks up
Kush
the
still that
kill,
position, but dashes out
walks
just
away.
fine.
As you said, Kush doesn't need the gold, but he wants all his snacks today. He's taking everything he can because this man is leading the way.
Oh my
for
god,
Nact.
the Natalia buff is also absurd.
That's right. As a wise man once said, Trex, yum, yum, yum.
Yum,
As
yum,
Kush Busa
nom.
is having his way right now. Hang on.
Wait a second, Galaxy does use a flicker. Anna looking for something. Goes back to the Lord. I don't think Kushaboost is going to come for this one. No
Oh,
Levi
and it's a
swinging
free
the
Lord for
day.
Fallout. Wait, Fallout wins?
Will
Question mark?
take the first Lord of this game, showing that they're still in this
Fallout
game.
wins.
Finally taking a small, ever so slight gold lead.
Ever so slight, but that's exactly what you need to stay in this match. You have to be able to fight back and break even up against Ackerman. Now they're in some good positioning. Will this be able, though, to turn the game completely on its head? They are
Took a
still
scary for
playing
Ack.
with this Angela, but I have to say, Mello doing a great job. 2-2
I'm not gonna lie, I'm paying more attention to the
television
video I'm watching.
Members be able to survive, namely Anna and Wops on this Natan. So doing a good job of keeping those people alive with the heart guard. Will it be able to see them through the entire match? I'm just not sure.
Zia kind of feeding a tad bit versus the Ling. And Waffle, honestly, he got solo kill once or twice as well.
So far. Not really
Nice goal Ackerman has.
2 assists, but he's looking to make some more plays.
Fallout, if they win a bunch of games from now on, they could actually make a top 4. A top 4 fight, the 4th place spot is basically a fight between Fallout and A77. Oh, Kush is dead. Zia about to have the 0-6, but Anna gets out. Yo, Carlos, why aren't you playing Ling? What's up? How come they can make this work? Where's the Ling Angela? Whoa, Guapo. What was that? Flicker. My god. A little bit of presumptuous flicker there.
Right now, they found a moment. We said
Works
they
out,
would have
though.
a rough laning phase. We said it was going to be bad, but there was a little bit of faith for this time of the game.
Angela
They're
diff.
stepping back.
Wait a minute, Trex. Don't call him Fallout.
Whoa! Oh, what a throw!
Oh,
Why would they bunch together like that and they both just got popped? They could have just had the inhib tower and be done with it. But now they keep going. Why do you keep going like that? Why do you throw?
Kush decides to go back to Uzi though. Uzi gonna get slammed against the wall. Ackerman trying to fight back. Anna's down along with 2 other members. It's not over yet. Ackerman back on the field.
That was crazy. Fallout kind of slingshot that match back into their hands. Why did it seem like Wapizi was so hell-bent on going over the wall? All he had to do was attack that high ground tower, but instead using that ultimate, the entropy, going right into the hands of Nicolette.
Agreed.
A double kill. And now Ackerman turning the game around.
Now we'll see how it goes from here. Gold is at a standstill, though. We know Fallout does have the potential for these team fights, but so does Ackerman. We wanted a best of 3. We wanted tension. We got it in a game I don't think any of us expected it in.
And this is a match that I wasn't expecting. Truxus is in the series that I was expecting to see Fallout take Ackerman to game 3, and not just take him to game 3, but really have them on the ropes here. But something interesting, Midnight has picked up a Genius Wand, not something you typically see from the Farsa build. Normally goes from that lollipop combination of
it's not that bad.
Right underneath that Holy Crystal, maybe a Divine, maybe something like a Blood Wings or a Winter Trunch finish it off, or Immortality. But that Genius One slotted in for Midnights is very interesting to say, to the least. Not something we typically see, but something we are seeing. Ackerman
laying Angels like Yasuo, like Yumi,
over this
20 times better.
This Luminous Lord here, Trex, but it looks like Fallout trying to contest. Beta's missing.
Catch up, maybe? Okay, hold on. Oh, two of them suppressed. What are they going to do? Guapo getting Angelo to a little early here. Gonna back off. Nothing's going to happen from it. Kush a little deep. Has to go back out. Anna's looking for something here. He might get the bot tower, but he's backing off instead. He doesn't have a blue buff.
Secure this tower. I don't know if that was a good play. Possibly. They get it very low, so it is prime pickings for Anna. Should be able to defend this Lord, though.
Let's see with the 06. Let's see how high he can go. 07, 010. And will he hit that 010 power spike? We'll see. Half his team's up. Buffalo in a bit of a weird spot right now. TP's out. Oh, Torak with a flicker all on 2 people. Getting Midnights and Mellow. This could be it for Fallout here. Oh, Galaxy catching Uzi as well. That is not a good thing. This could be it. Oh, Guapo. TP's back in the base. Barely makes it in time. Anna trying to do something. Ults tries to get out. All he has to do is clear the Lord. Can he clear the Lord in time? Lord is gone. Uzi tries to do something. Guapo's dead. There's minions still. Can they add? GG. What a throw. Fuck the swing. What a throw. Actually, it was kind of a throw from
what a game ender
Fallout side, because they were throwing at first, but like that last fight was a really big throw from people from where it's ending.
Skirmish. That was a huge range there, and literally ended the game, ended the chances of Fallout taking out the #2 team on the standings.
That was a max range flicker. He waited till the very end of his
so you're trying to rank?
Of his Tyrant's Revenge, or his Tyrant's Revenge, and then flickered. I mean, just max range. It surprised me. I'm like, wait, where did he just come from? Tyrant's Rage locks in, just clips onto the wall. I'm talking like itty bitty hitbox, able to make it all the way there. Clips them, and then the Beer's Passion to finish it all up. A perfect finish from Ackerman.
Perfect finish indeed, and what an ending for them. But I have to say, Wheezy was correct. 2-1.
All right, I think I'm gonna go now, chat.
Fallout. You know, it's so crazy.
I need to clip the BTK TOB games. I need to send them to the editor to be edited. The editor editing. The editor doing the editing.
Relentless. Close and eventually into a win, especially with Toynks with that game-ending set. Like
so I hope you all enjoyed.
Really helped them flip this game on its head there.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it always comes down to sometimes.
See you tomorrow. I'll probably wake up earlier.
Small mistakes. I think Fallout.
I've not had a good track record in terms of sleep schedule, but I'll try to be better. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Grind to 100k subs. We appreciate if you do either. Hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye. When I say early, I mean like noon, chop out. That's gonna be early for me. My schedule is so fucked. I've been waking up at like 4 p.m. It's so bad. Fucking Terraria. Whatever. Bye, guys.